give us a little bit of background on you.
Well, I appreciate that, Tommy. I appreciate you guys rolling out the red carpet for me over here at Petal. Looking forward to working with you. Looking forward to this season. As far as my background goes, I'm a graduate of Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I did play-by-play for the Temple Owls for 4 years on radio, a little bit of TV. I worked for Comcast in the Pine Belt area doing games along with Craig Adams, the Game of the Week, for 7 years, all building up to sitting here tonight with you, Tom. And I'm really looking forward to a fun year with a phenomenal Petal football team.
Yes. I tell you what, after last year, everybody was asking me, well, what you think about this year after Alford, life after Anthony Alford here at Petal. But let me go back and say this right now. Steve Buckley did an extremely good job here at Petal, and he brought us along. He had a couple of years where he struggled, but he got us to the state championship, and which by now was not a good way to lose the state championship.
No.
But anyway, Coach Buckley did a phenomenal job here at Petal. And now we have another great coach in Coach Marcus Boyles. And I tell you what, if you ever get a chance to sit down with Marcus, he's just the kind of guy that you just really enjoy sitting down and talking. Not just football, but
right.
in general. He's just a great guy. So
great point. He's the kind of guy you don't want to leave his office. I almost feel like you're in. You can spend so much time with him. You don't want to impede on his progress. But you talk about a wonderful track record. I mean, here's a gentleman that took Wayne County to the top of the mountain year after year after year, built a phenomenal program in Waynesboro. Comes over. He had some big shoes to fill, let's face it, at Petal. And there was some great point you made, filling the shoes of an Anthony Alford. That's an athlete that doesn't come along every decade even.
Right.
Just a tremendous athlete. And it looks, after one game, I know it's early, but Petal does not look like they've missed a beat. And there's a lot of excitement around this football team. They're big on both sides. They're fast on both sides of the ball. And early on in the season, Tommy, can you pick a better game? I mean, you have two teams here that are ranked in the top 6 in the state, defending 5A state champion Picayune Maroon Tide, South State champion and 6A the Petal Panthers. It's going to be a beautiful night.
It should be the game of the week if you ask me.
I tell you. And it's on a Saturday.
That's right. It's on a Saturday, so hopefully we got a lot of listeners tonight. But another thing about Coach Boyles is it had to be tough to go back to his former school there. But after I talked to him a little while, he said, all that, I put all that aside. When I got ready for the football game, he said I just had all that aside and I was focused on Petal Panther football. And he just talked about how nice everybody's been and how he was welcomed here. And he was talked about the people in Wayne County was very, very cordial when he went back over there. But I tell you what. This Picayune team, if you like power football, they like the power foot. They like to stack it up there and in that I formation and take it and just run it right down your throat.
You're exactly right. In fact, they did something all my years around football, Tommy. I know you've been around football a good part of your life. Something happened with this Picayune team over Biloxi last week that I've never seen. Their tailback carried the ball 50 times in one game. In fact, if my numbers are correct, it looks like they ran about 70 plays on offense, and he had 50 of those carries. So we're going to see a healthy dose of Mr. Dito, number 33, this evening.
Tell you what, his body got beat around pretty good. I guess we better take a break here. We're going to throw it back to the station for about 3 minutes. We'll be back here and talk a little bit more about Petal Panther football and as we get ready to take on Picayune Maroon Tide.
We'll be back after these words.
presentation of our colors. Lieutenant Commander Anderson. And then to be followed by the playing of our national anthem by the Picayune Memorial High School Band. Now for our invocation.
God, thank you for letting us all come out here tonight, and thank you for everyone who helped make this game possible. I pray that you let these boys play to the best of their ability and allow them to leave this field safe and injury-free. I ask that win or lose, we will show sportsmanship to make our schools proud, and no matter the outcome, we will give you the honor and glory. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I hear it now.
Welcome back to Picayune High School. We're going to have our national anthem now prior to the start of our Petal game versus Picayune Maroon Tide. So I'm going to turn it over now to our national anthem. All right, here we go. We're about ready for football action from Maroon Tide Stadium here on the campus of Picayune High School. Sorry about that. We were hoping that you could hear the national anthem and the announcement made by our public address announcer here. Unfortunately, Tommy, we lost an American hero, a true American saint and icon in this country. Unfortunately, we lost first man on the moon. If you haven't heard, astronaut Neil Armstrong passed away today, and. So flags are flying at half-staff in honor of him here at the stadium. I'm sure they will throughout the country, as they should. And we're excited for some Petal football.
Yes. You were talking about their tailback, Jordan Dito. He's not a very big guy, 5'8", 150, and to carry the ball 50 times, he's pretty that's a pretty strong young man there to be able to carry it 50 times and not be any bigger than that,
Especially in the warmth of August, well-conditioned. You've got to think that he's a young man that has put his reps in and is in excellent physical shape. As we get ready, I'm going to go ahead now and run through our sponsors. Make sure we send some love to them. I think we may have done that a little bit. You might have caught a little bit of that, and we apologize if there's a few technical difficulties early here back at the station. We apologize, but we'd like to thank A1 Graphics, Bucco's Cleaners, Coca-Cola of Hattiesburg, The Corner Market, ELTM, which is an Edinbridge company, Encore Rehabilitation, Fairley Construction, First Southern Bank, Forest County Board of Supervisors, Fox's Pizza, Grand Bank, Hattiesburg Oral Surgery, Hub City Steel, Magnolia State Bank, Marino Eye Care, Paris Jewelers, Petal Harvey Baptist Church, Petal Tire, Southern Bone and Joint Specialist. Of course, Southern Bone and Joint Specialists are proud to be the sports medicine physicians for the Petal Panthers here. State Farm Insurance of Petal, which is the Ted Cannon Agent Office, Reynolds Dental Care, Richardson Heating and Air, and the DeLoa Smith All-Star team of Keller Williams bringing you home again and again. Tommy, it looks like Petal will be wearing their white uniforms with their red pants. The Maroon Tide will be wearing all maroon. And we're about to meet at midfield here for our ceremonial coin toss. Get ready to start this one.
You know, Corey, this type of offense that Picayune runs, the key for the Petal defense tonight, and you probably know this, is that at the point of attack, we've got to make the tackles because if you miss the tackle at the line of scrimmage, chances are they're going to get some pretty big yardage. So, and you know, he had 300+ yards last week against Biloxi, and Biloxi's got a good football team this year.
Sure
they had a lot of returning starters. So, but anyway, the key tonight, I think, is to not have very many missed tackles, and we did have that in the first half last week against Wayne County, and we adjusted in the second half and was able to shut them down.
That's a great point, and you know, I talked about it on the radio a little bit last night, talking about high school football in the South, and the North State seems, especially in 6A, which is where Petal is, they seem to be a lot stronger in the past, but I think South State's catching up. There's a lot of really good football in South Mississippi, and you're going to see one of the best in the state tonight with your Petal Panthers, and Picayune, of course, obviously one of the best 5A in the state, defending state champions. Again, both these teams are ranked in the top 6 in the state coming into tonight.
Another thing that caught my eye last week, and the eye of a lot of other Petal Panther fans, was the play of quarterback Larson Barkham. You know, Larson did get to play a little bit the last 2 years, you know, spotty play. Of course, we had Anthony Alford, so he didn't get to play a whole lot, but I tell you what, I'll be honest with you, he looked like he was in mid-season form last week. He didn't make any mental errors, and I thought carried the offense very well. I thought he made some very good throws, good tight throws where they had good coverage. And also he did a good job running the football.
Very well said, and what a good kid. I mean, he's got the attitude coming in that, hey, I'm not going to be able to replace an Anthony Alford, but I learned from a special athlete. I learned from a gifted athlete. I've got some great tool set of my own. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to lead this team. And like you said, he looked like he was in mid-season form last week, and I expect big things from the senior this year.
I do too. And then, of course, the surprise last week. Of course, I had not seen the kid or met with or talked with him. Was the surprise play of Tyrus Rain, who came. I think he transferred in here from another school here south of here. But Tyrus really ran the football really well. I mean, and he's another kid that he's got real good shifty moves, and you better lock up on him, or he's going to get good yardage on him. So I hope we can do that tonight.
He looks extremely impressive. Of course, only a junior. We like that. We like when we see a little explosive ability on the Petal sideline, because you know as a junior he'll be back. He's got this whole season, and he'll be back again for another one. And, you know, if you look at this roster top to bottom for Petal, they're really a pretty young football team.
They are. And that's what's exciting about this, you know, to be able to go on the road the first game of the year at a place where they don't lose there very often, and to pick up a victory and play as well as they did.
Well, Panther fans, you should be excited after last week going into Wayne County with a win. This would be another huge road victory. We're about set. The Maroon Tide have taken the field. Petal will be coming out next. It looks like Picayune will receive the opening kickoff to start the ball game.
Tristan Reynolds, that's another thing I didn't talk about last week. He kicked, I don't remember how many kickoffs he had last week, but all but 2 went into the end zone, and that's such a weapon, because you know, you always have your good hands and good speed back there returning. So anytime you can keep it out of their hands, that's a good weapon.
Well said. So we're ready. About set for action. 7:30. Petal kicking off. They'll be kicking from our right to our left, and number 13 Tristan Reynolds will be set to kick. And here is his kick. It's a short kick coming down. It'll be taken about the 5-yard line. That's number 20 Doug Cross. Straight ahead, he'll be across the 25, and the Maroon Tide will start this drive from about their own 28.
Yeah, a little surprising there. That one didn't quite make it to the end zone, but it was really effective because it took several bounces, you know, kind of squibbed its way downfield,
sure.
So he had to wait on it a little bit.
Yeah, if you can pin your team on special teams, if you can pin the opposing team inside the 30, you've done a good job.
Exactly.
So Petal will come out. They're set. Picayune will be moving from their left to their right on your dial as we get set for our first play from scrimmage. Looks like backs will be set in the eye. And we have a flag just before our first play from scrimmage tonight. Petal's defensive players are clapping a little bit, so it looks like it may be a motion penalty up front or a substitution infraction. It is against Picayune. Looks like Picayune was lined up a little bit. I guess they're calling it offside here at the stadium, so we're going to go with offside against the offense.
Possibly the wide receiver maybe didn't check in. I don't know, but it kind of looked that way. But anyway, 5-yard penalty. Whatever.
There you go. So that'll back them up 5 yards to the 23 on 1st and 15. Pass out in the flat is incomplete, and receiver was open, but it is going to sail incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Well, that's a surprise there to open up with a pass right off the bat. They only threw the ball 8 times last week.
I was a little stunned there at that one. I guess they thought they needed to pick up 15 yards, quickly try and get back in field position. So after only throwing it, like you said, 8 times, only completing 2 last week, that was a little bit of a shock to start the ball game. Backs again are in the eye. At the helm for Picayune is number 16, senior Ben Hickman. And it's going to be keeper up the middle, across midfield, down inside the 30, inside the 20. This one's going to go all the way to the house. A little bit of a trick play, kind of caught me off guard again. It looked like a delayed draw, but this play is going to go 77 yards to the house on the second play from scrimmage.
Is that Desmond Taylor?
That's exactly who it was. Desmond Taylor took that one 77 yards up the middle into the end zone. And just like that, on the second play from scrimmage, the Maroon Tide are on the board.
I'm like you, Corey. I never saw the football. I didn't know who had the football until he was had broken out into the open around the 50-yard line.
That's pretty much what happened with me. It looked like it may have even been a direct snap, the way that the quarterback kind of bootlegged out. Yeah. But nonetheless, there's no flags down. It is a Picayune touchdown. And here's the snap, the extra point. The kick is up for Picayune. It is good. So our score with 11:35 remaining in the first quarter, 7-0 Picayune.
Wow, that we weren't expecting that. I for sure. I think he caught our defense off guard too, because I think you're right. I think they did do a direct snap to number 15.
Yeah, that play caught everybody off guard in the stadium. I think the sideline here. Let's talk about the crowd. We're only about an hour drive south of Hattiesburg, but I'll tell you what, it's beautiful to look out here from the press box, see nothing on this sideline but a sea of red and white. We're traveling, aren't we?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we talk about that all the time. Great fan support on the road for this football team. It's always been that way. Even when we played at South Panola, which is a good ways up north, we had a great crowd.
Well, let's see if Petal can answer the call. A little bit of a shocking start. Looked down on the sideline. I saw Coach Boyles with his hands on his hips. I think he was a little shocked. Kind of a surprise start, but we'll see if Petal can answer the call. It's a short kick. It's going to be, looks like it's going to sail out of bounds over the head of number 11, Slade Buckley. So it'll be good field position to start for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not what Picayune wanted on that, because that, like you said, gives us great field position right off the bat.
That's right. Got to keep that ball in bounds.
Well, what you want to do here, Corey, is come right back and answer, drive the ball downfield and get us the score just to answer them right off the bat.
Definitely want to try and at least control the ball a little bit, move the ball, give the defense a little bit of a chance. They're huddling here on the sideline, and we'll see what happens. Of course, Barkin's in there. He's getting his call in from the sideline. Petal moving from our right to our left. If you're just joining us, Picayune scoring on the second offensive play of the ball game. Picayune leading Petal 7-0 early stages of the first quarter. Barkin in shotgun. Quick three-step drop. He'll fire out in the flat. The pass will be caught across the 40. That's going to be a pickup of about 5 yards on first down.
Wow, great job by J.C. Jackson. Was not a great pass by Barkin that time. He just had to go right down. It was almost, he just kind of put his arms on the ground, hands on the ground, and kind of scooped it there to keep it from hitting the ground. So great catch by Jackson.
That was a great adjustment, great catch. And they're going to go trip receivers to the left side of Barkin. This time single-slotted receiver to the right. And they'll check back here and change the play at the line of scrimmage. Barkin, another three-step drop, firing down the seam. Reeves with the catch, spinning inside the Picayune 40, spotted down at the 38. No flags, move the chains. First down, just what the doctor ordered, Tommy. A good start for the Petal offense.
Again, Jamarcus ran a great route across the middle, about 15, 20 yards downfield, and Barkham put it right on the money.
Yeah, he's extremely accurate. That's one thing. Watching the film from last week at Wayne County, he really does have a cannon arm, and he's got good control. His feet gets set very well, and he delivered that one right down the seam. Beautiful ball. Petal in business with a first down at the 38. The single tailback, of course, Tyus Rain, is split to Barkern's left. He will take the handoff. Plenty of running room. He's going to break a tackle inside the 25 and be bumped out of bounds down around the 20, but that looks like about a 17-yard carry on his first play of the game.
You know, you can't go wrong when you go back behind Javon Patterson.
No, you can't.
My goodness, he's a big kid, strong kid, moves his feet well, and, I mean, he really did a great job on his man and opening a hole there for
Yeah, Rain did a great job, and I'll tell you what, the strength of this Petal team, when I look around again about other 6A schools in the area, look at Hattiesburg, look at Oak Grove, as good as they are, Petal's so physical and so big up front. They're going to give it to him again this time. He's going to break tackles. Does a great job he'll only lose 5. It could have been a lot worse as Picayune got some great pressure up front on that play, but it'll bring up second down at about 15.
Well, it looked like that time they had all 3 linebackers ready to come up and do a blitz, kind of backed off just a little bit, so he really didn't have a whole lot of running room when he got the football.
So on second down and 15, there's 9 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 Picayune with the lead. Petal knocking on the door. Great field position. Second and 15 again at the Picayune 25. Draw and a spin. Nothing doing up front. And wow, great job. A host of tacklers by Picayune closing the door there.
Well, that's something else that I noticed last year. They don't miss very many tackles.
They
so
don't.
I tell you got to make them miss. So.
And Picayune's, it seems like there's always several helmets around the football on their side, on the defensive side of the ball. Very impressive. So you're going to call this a pretty big play early on. I mean, it is early, but it's 7-0. Third down and 15 for the Panthers.
Like the defensive end jumped there for Picayune, but evidently they didn't call it.
I was looking at the side, Judge, waiting for a flag, but I didn't see one pop out. So here we go. 3-step drop, looking, firing down the seam. Pass is complete, and these guys have some great chemistry inside the 10. It's Reeves again.
15, 20 yards down across the middle. Gosh, he threw that ball like a cannon, right? Great catch, too, by Jamarcus. So.
I have a feeling we may sound like a broken record towards the end of the season. Barker to Reeves, but it works. First and goal for the Petal Panthers. Spot the ball at the 5. It's impressive drive here to answer the call or answer the touchdown for Picayune as a handoff up the middle. Not much doing for Rain. He'll plow forward. He may pick up maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, I can't say the first name, number 93, Samaj Branch.
Oh, Samaj Branch, the big defensive tackle for
Picayune. He's 5'10", 281 pounds, so I call that just a little stump. That's what they call him when they're about that size. So.
That's right. There's a lot of muscle packed in that small frame. It's funny. Single receiver slotted to the left for the Panthers. Kind of a little bit of a bunch set on the right. With Rain just to the left of Barker. He's going to keep it. He's going to cut back inside, fighting for the goal line. Great tackle down low there. Barker stopped by number 40 on the defensive side of the ball. Jacoria Poole at the 1.
Yeah, they came on the blitz that time, so Barker noticed it and just took the ball and went around the left side. So good job by Larson.
That was a great job. Great awareness inside.
Here's our power package they call it.
There you go. That's right, Tommy. Here's the power package, almost like an off wishbone. Handoff inside, Rain diving. It looks like he's on the back of one of his linemen. There's no signal yet. They're going to spot him just.
He went across the...
It sure looked like it from here. Of course, we're right about the 50-yard line, but he was stopped apparently just short. It's going to bring up fourth down and about a foot, and Petal's going to go no
quick
huddle,
snap,
Tommy.
Yeah.
Petal lined up fourth down and goal from about a foot out. There is a flag down as the goal line is broken there by Barker, but it's going
to be on them. They're saying it's on them, so it's good.
That is a good thing there, Tommy. Thank you for that. So it's a defensive penalty against Picayune. This will move the ball half the distance to the goal.
Okay, here's I hate this rule. I mean, we scored a touchdown. You take the points off the board because of a defensive penalty. I hate that rule.
Yeah, they're going to say it was prior to the snap, but you're right. You're exactly right. So Barker's going to line up and do it again. Same play calling, same result. Yeah. This time there are no flags down. Panther fans, there's a touchdown to answer the touchdown from Picayune, and they're just a point away now from a tie ball game.
Hey, Thad Roberts. That was the key to that right there. Thad Roberts, the center, just pushed his man back about 5 yards. He didn't need to push him but a yard, but he pushed him about 5 yards. So good job that time by the center.
Well said. And when you have that power up front, just let your quarterback go and put his head down and dive forward and pick it up. So here's Reynolds on for the point after. Try and tie this ball game up at 7. Good snap, good hold. Line drive kick is good. And with 6:58 remaining, it is 7-7. Picayune and Petal are tied.
Well, it's like I said, Corey, what you want to do when you get caught off guard a little bit with a surprise play, which I think it was, first play of the football game, come back and answer like that, hey, that's what you got to do.
Ball control, move the ball down the field, 65-yard drive capped off by a 1-yard quarterback sneak. And just like that, Petal has tied it at 7.
Well, I think we found a little weakness in their defense, so that little pattern across the middle. Jamarcus goes about 15 or 20 yards and across the middle, and the linebackers are so keyed on Tyler and on Rain that they're coming up too far, and he's just slipping in the seam there and getting open real quick.
I'll tell you what, it's impressive to watch this young offensive line for the Panthers. You've got some big boys up front, and they really, if they can control the line of scrimmage in this ball game, it's gonna go a long way towards their effort to try and win this one. So we're set for the kickoff, 7-7 tie. This is going to come up short of the goal line, about the 3-yard line, be taken by Picayune, number 20 on the carry. Will get out across the 20. That was number 20, Doug Cross, and the Picayune Maroon Tide will start from about their own 22.
See, that was number 27, Ron Myers, who tripped him up just as he tried to cut up field and kept him from getting any good yardage.
Good tackling on both kickoffs tonight for the Petal Panthers, and that's big.
That's another thing I noticed last week on the kickoff coverages. We didn't have very many punts, but they did a great job by our kickoff teams.
That's very important, Make them earn it. Don't give them a short field. So good job by this Panther special team so far. First play is going to be a pitch off right tackle. This is going to be Dito fighting for yardage, and there you see the youngster across the 30, give him 8 yards, and he has a motor, doesn't he?
Gosh, he doesn't look that small from here. He really doesn't. He's got the big thighs, so I guess that's the key to it. He's just got so strong in his legs that he can drive forward and get that extra yardage. Hard to bring down.
There's some fantastic tailbacks in South State this year, and wow, what a power run that was. I know it was only an 8-yard carry, but just keep those wheels moving. He was hit close to the line of scrimmage and just pushed forward. So 2nd down and 2 for the Maroon Tide. Backs are in the offset eye. It's going to be a draw inside. Good running room up to about the 39-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down for Picayune.
That's what they do. That's their game right there, Corey. There's strong power right up the middle.
Strong power. They're going to move Dito around a little bit in the backfield, but inevitably it looks like he's probably going to be the ball carrier for most of the evening, as he was last week against Biloxi. Of course, both these teams again coming in with a mark of 1-0. Biloxi was defeated by this Picayune bunch last week. Of course, everybody knows Petal thrashing Wayne County. Here's a pitch again. Dito left side across the 40-yard line up to about the 45. Give him 6 yards on first down.
I tell you what, he is an exceptional talent right there. We had good. Well, is this a heat timeout? Yeah, heat timeout.
This is a heat timeout?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and we'll send it down to our sideline reporter, Kenny. Kenny, you down there? Or Kyle? Excuse me, Kyle Britt. I apologize. Kyle, what you got going on the sidelines for us, buddy?
Well, it's not working. I don't think
okay,
that.
so he's not down on the sidelines tonight. I apologize for that one. Well, at least he didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we're going to go ahead and send it back to the studio now for a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back right after this heat timeout. That's not deal.
Just one. We're back.
Sorry about that. into the quarter. Welcome back to our ball game. We just missed a play as they came back. We apologize for that. It was a short heat timeout because it's not too hot this evening. A little rain come through. Number 15, Desmond Taylor, carried down to the Petal 42 for a first down. There is a flag on this play. It was a handoff to Dito, but that'll be nullified for a flag. It looks like some movement up front against Picayune.
Yeah, no, I believe our left defensive end jumped.
Oh, wow, okay. It looked like Picayune may have moved a little bit prematurely, but they're going to call this one against the Petal defense. So just to recap again, there's 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Our score is Picayune and Petal tied at 7. Picayune started this game off with a 77-yard touchdown run on the second play from scrimmage, following a 5-yard penalty. The Panthers responded with a 65-yard drive of their own, capped off by a 1-yard quarterback sneak by Barker to tie the game.
Fumble.
And it looks like a fumble on the play. Bad snap. Nobody's signaling which way it's going. It looks like it's going to be controlled by the Picayune offense.
He got a big break quarterback that time, number 15, Taylor. The ball just bounced right in front to him, back to him there on the ground. So they got a big break there.
They sure did. Sure did. That could have been catastrophic. They are moving the football, of course. They have the ball 2nd down and 5 at the Petal 36-yard line, moving from our left to our right here in the first quarter. Picayune backs are in the eye once again. This will be a delay draw inside. Running with the football, number 15, Desmond Taylor. Looks like he'll have enough for a first down, Tommy, down to about the 30.
Yeah. Well, you can see how this kid had 300 yards rushing. He's just tough to bring down. I mean, you look, we have tacklers there to get him at the line of scrimmage, and he just breaks. He just keeps churning those big old legs.
He does, and he's a hoss. I mean, it takes a lot to bring this kid down. First down, good deal. First down for Picayune at the 30-yard line as they move again from our left to our right. Backs are in the eye. It's going to be a pitch this time. Dito, with plenty of running room, breaks with the first tackle. He'll pick up about 12 yards to move the chains down to about the 18-yard line of the Panthers.
And now that time he got a great block on the left side, but I tell you, he cut back up the middle. He's just a natural tailback. He's got natural ability.
Exactly, Tommy. I apologize for that. You could tell early on he's born to run the football, and he's shifty. He sees the hole that's created for him. He hits it hard, and he got through there down to about the 18. Give him 12 more. Curious to see how many yards he can rack up. Let's see if this Petal defense can stiffen up here in their own end in the red zone. They're going to give him a spell. It'll be Taylor up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 7 yards down to about the 11.
Wow. We talked about the power football, and now I see Petal's beginning to substitute a good bit on the defense here to keep some fresh guys in there.
Right. I kind of spoke out of turn, said it wasn't too hot. It is extremely humid. We had a little system come through, so it is also late part of August, so see how much water you can consume and try and stay hydrated out there.
That's right.
Backs again offset. This will be a give up the middle. Dito will have first down yardage. It'll be spotted just shy of the 5, and they're knocking on the door once again.
Yep.
It's interesting watching Dito run with the football, Tommy. He's strong. It didn't look like there was much there. He moves the pile and picks up 5.
Yes, and
5 easy yards.
Good job by their offensive line. They're moving us off the ball and giving him that opportunity.
So this is a kid last week that averaged 6.2 yards on the ground. He had 310 rushing yards in the game, 50 carries for 310. He did score 4 times. So we'll see if chances are he may get the ball down here, Tommy. We'll see. He's going to take the pitch on the left side. He's going to fight for the goal line. Let's wait on the signal. They are going to say he is into the end zone. It is a Picayune touchdown. It was close.
I never saw the heads go up, but I heard the cannon fire down there. So.
That's what did it for me, too. And I saw the offense kind of run off the field to let the special teams come on for the extra point. But just like that, it's a 5-yard touchdown run for Dito. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left. Pending the extra point, it is 13-7. Picayune out in front of the Panthers of Petal.
This is the kind of offense you really need to get about 2 or 3 scores ahead, because they're not a quick scoring offense.
They're not, and we could go back and forth. The kick is up, and it is good. Again, 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Our score, Picayune, Maroon Tide leading Petal. It's 14-7.
Well, we got to go back to the drawing board here on defense and see if we can't find some way to slow them down a little bit. But I have to be honest with you, Corey. I think we're playing good defense. He's just a phenomenal tailback. I can see now. I know I said this already. I can see why this kid had 300 yards last week.
Absolutely, well said. And unless Coach Boyles can put 12 or 13 guys on that defensive side of the ball, it may be tough all night. And I think Petal's a little bit shocked or maybe a little frustrated on defense. They've already allowed as many points as they did all of last week against Wayne County. Of course, winning that game 38-14. But they keep their head up. They know that they can move the ball and they can throw punch after punch and compete with this Picayune squad. So this is one of those nights. Could be an interesting high scoring. We may do a lot of talking tonight, Tom.
I'm telling you, well, you want to score quick, but then again, you may not want to let your defense be back out there on the field.
That's right. Here's the kickoff. It's a short kick. It's bobbled by the Panthers, but it is picked up. I believe that was
Slade Buckley. Yeah.
I was going to say, it looked like number 11 there, Slade Buckley on the recovery. Good job to stick with it. Petal will take the ball after the fumble. They're going to have the ball at about their own 26-yard line. Late stages, first quarter, moving from our right to our left.
Petal can drive and score here. This game may come down to who has the football the last time. So.
It's early, but I agree. I was thinking the same thing. You never know. We'll have to see what happens. It could be one of those nights. Let's see what Barker can draw up here. Plenty of weapons on offense for Petal. They can hang with anybody. Good thing about Coach Boyles is there's nobody in in high school football that can adjust at halftime like he can.
I agree.
So Barker in shotgun. Pass over the middle is complete. What a great adjustment and a great catch. Man, across the 40 up to the 41. Move the chains, first down.
Man, well, I said it a while ago. This is their weakness. They do not play well defense against the pass. So, but the good thing about that is that if we keep throwing the ball like that, that'll open up the run game even more. So
that's a great point. Jesse Jackson with a great adjustment.
That ball again was close to the ground. He was just able to reach down there and pick it up.
Wow, great hands. From their own 40, Barker again in shotgun. He's going to hand it off. Rain looking for running room. Not much doing again. Good job up front. Host of tacklers in. Only a gain of 1.
Yeah, that was a play last week that was very successful. But again, that very disciplined defense here for the Picayune Maroon Tide. They don't miss very many tackles.
Yeah, they sure don't. Just going to have to be patient in the running game. I'm sure holes will open up. This offensive line, as we talked about, they do a great job anchoring in front of Barker. Holes will open. Just have to be patient and keep plugging away.
I like the trips to the left. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
I was just going to say that. I agree with you, and it really spreads them out and allows you to do a lot of things. This is going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle. I believe Barker lost the football.
Okay, I'm glad the far side official called it because he was down. His knee was down before the ball came out.
That was a great call. I was worried with the way the Picayune defense reacted.
Yeah.
Barker was kind of on an island. He was by himself back there. There was 3 different Picayune defensive players in his face, and his knee definitely was down, and the side judge called it immediately. So this is going to set up 3rd down and about 11 from their own 39. Tommy, this is a big play.
Yes, like I said a while ago, very disciplined defense because that's a play that worked really well last week, and one guy stayed at home, was able to stop Barker.
All right, let's see what Coach Boyles can draw up here for this Petal offense. Barker, 3-step drop. He's going to fire down the seam. Reeves is open. Reeves has the ball inside the 40. I love it. Move the chains down to the 36. Big chunks of yardage. That seam play is just there for him, isn't it?
Sure is. Tony Washington, he can't stay with Jamarcus. He comes up to the line of scrimmage, but he can't stay with him when Jamarcus comes off the line of scrimmage. So I don't think we're going to quit. I mean, you keep going to the well.
I have to agree with you. We're in the late, counting down the last few seconds. They're going to set the ball alive for play. There's only 9 seconds remaining on the clock here in the first quarter. Let's see if they can get a playoff before the whistle. They're going to back away, and they will not. So our score here at the end of the first quarter, it's Picayune leading the Petal Panthers 14-7, but the Petal Panthers are driving to start the second quarter. We're going to go ahead and send it back to the studio now for a quick commercial break. Thank our sponsor. You're listening to Petal Panther Football on 93.1 WGDQ.
pass is incomplete. Kyle Reynolds is the intended receiver.
Welcome back to Petal Panther football here on 93.1 WGDQ, along with Tommy Hudson, Corey Tater here on the call. Starting the second quarter, Petal just ran their first play of the second quarter on 1st down and 10. It was a pass out in the flat intended for one of the receivers. It fell incomplete.
Yeah, for J.C. Jackson, and Larson was very disappointed in the pass. And, he underthrew him a little bit.
He had him open. It's 2nd down and 10 from the Picayune 35-yard line. Barkin back is going to pass this time to Jackson. Complete.
Wow.
That seam route is there all night. That's about their 4th time they've run that same play, and it's worked all 4 times.
And, Corey, I'm sure you noticed that Barkham actually released the ball before J.C. Jackson had made his turn and hadn't even turned around for the ball, and he put it right there when he turned around.
And that's exactly well said, and that's how you know these guys are on the same page.
Yes.
So that's going to spot the ball inside the 15. Rain, there is a flag down on the near sideline. It was a carry of about 4 yards on 1st down, but we'll check the flag. Still waiting on a signal. It's going to be motion against the Petal Panthers, so this will back them up. It'll negate a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Yeah, Tires had a good run that time. I hate to see that get called back.
He sure did. That was a nice hole on the left side. He hit it and picked up 4, maybe 5 yards. It'll move the ball back just inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 19-yard line. Again, if you're just joining us early stages of the second quarter, it's 14-7. Picayune leading Petal. Petal is driving. They have a 1st down and 15 at the Picayune 19. So Barkern's in shotgun again. Doubles slotted left and right. And there's another motion penalty, it looks like, against Petal.
Well, they were coming with the blitz. I don't know if they jumped and caused us to. Yeah, they got us defensive.
Okay, good. So offsetting penalties on consecutive plays, basically. That Picayune sideline was high-fiving each other a little bit. I think they thought that they got Petal to jump again, but good eye there, Tom.
Yeah, the coach Picayune knows he's got to bring some pressure. He cannot let Barkham sit back there because he's having too much success throwing the football.
You're right. He's been picking apart this defense since the opening gun, pretty much. Here's a pass underneath, and this one's going to be caught inside the 10-yard line on 1st down and 10. It looked like Reynolds. It sure is, down at about the 9-yard line.
You look at that pass and you say, well, that was way too low, but the way he threw that football, it was only Kyle Reynolds could catch it, so good job again by Barkham.
He's keeping himself out of trouble, putting the ball where only his receivers can get it. He's a heady quarterback, again, as a junior, as a senior, doing a great job his first year really as a starter here, following in Anthony Alford's footsteps, doing a great job out there at the helm for them. Double receiver split to the right. This is going to be a handoff. Inside, Rains into the end zone, just like that. The Petal Panthers answer back, and we're an extra point away from a 14-14 ball game, Tommy.
I think Javon Patterson took that upon himself that time. He really blew his man off the line of scrimmage and allowing Tyron to get the corner there and then get the touchdown.
That was a statement run, wasn't it?
Another good thing is that we didn't score real quick. We want to score, but give our defense a little bit of rest anyway.
At least they had the quarter. The break at the change at the quarter, moving from our left to our right. So Petal's going to attempt the point after touchdown. It's a good hold. Reynolds' kick is up. And
wow, good kick.
Wow, he just destroyed that football, didn't he? That ball's still going, I believe. It's good. There's 10:33 remaining on the clock here in the second quarter. We're knotted at 14, Tommy.
Kyle, I don't want to jinx anybody, but I said it could come down to who has the ball last, but another thing it could come down is these PATs. We got to make sure we get these PATs.
You can never say enough about that point after touchdown. And how often have you seen a team that has that does not connect on one come back to bite them at some point in the ball game? Yeah. Well said. So Petal's answered the call. They've taken a couple on the chin here. Picayune's come out and said, hey, you know what? We're going to establish the run as we did last week, as they're going to do all year, as they did last year. And you made a great point at the in-between quarters. It's been fun to watch Preston Dito in the early going here for Picayune. Scary thing is this kid is only a junior.
As many football games, high school that I've watched, you can always, you hear kids that have a lot of stats, but when you see a kid like this, you know when you watch him play, this kid will be on the next level. He's got all the tools.
He does, and he's, like we said earlier, he's shifty. He hits the open field, and he finds holes that aren't there all the time. So Reynolds kicking off.
Oh, this one's going to make it all right.
There you go, Tommy. That one went through the back of the end zone.
They can start from the 20, man, I tell you.
Make them go as far as they have to. Dito's licking his chops. He may be thinking there's 80 more yards of open field, open pasture for me to roam. So each team with 2 possessions, and each team with 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
And just like that, we're 14-14 early stages of the second quarter.
We haven't had a punt, have we? We have not had a punt.
We have not had a punt. We've had a lot of offense.
Yes.
Kind of to be expected. I thought this one may go back and forth and be a high-scoring affair. And let's just see whose defense can make some adjustments and pull their team through in this one. In the eye, there's a handoff inside Desmond Taylor. First play, he's going to pick up 3 yards. Good job up front by Petal. Allow only 3 yards on that carry.
I hate to say I'm happy with 3 yards, but, I mean, I am because they have been so successful on first down on getting 4 or 5 yards.
That's right. Yeah, Hickman's job at the helm for Picayune thus far, other than the one pass to start the game, has been pretty easy. Turn around and hand the ball off to either Desmond Taylor, more than likely number 33, Preston Dito. So we'll
You know the scary thing is we got so many men here on close to the line of scrimmage. We've got to make good tackles.
They do. They've got all 11 of their players within 3 yards for Petal on defense. Here's a handoff inside. Good job up front again by a host of Petal defensive players. Another 3-yard carry. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4. So a good job up front by this Panther defense. They've made some good adjustments here on this drive, and just these Panther fans are educated. They know what they're facing here.
Do.
And as a unit, they rise as one, Tommy. 3rd down and 4 for Petal. Ball at the 26-yard line.
Well, you'd like to make them punt from here.
You sure would. We'll see what happens here. Again, they do have a receiver slotted out, way out to the left, rather. It's going to be a delayed pitch to Dito. Breaking tackles across the 30. He'll have about 6 yards, and it will move the chains. Looked like he was going to be stopped back in the backfield.
We had great pursuit again. That was all. That was all Dito right there.
It looked like Boyles probably said this is going to be a pitch right. It looked like it was read beautifully, and it was. But again, when you're facing a tailback like Dito, when you're there, sometimes that's only half the battle.
Did they have any turnovers last week? That's what I meant to see in their stats, if they had any turnovers, because that may be a big key tonight too.
Handoff inside. And there's Dito again. He'll pick up maybe 4. Move the chains up to the 33-yard, move the up to the 33-yard line will be the new line of scrimmage. I apologize. Just looking at the
Actually, they did put it on the 34.
Good deal. So there's about 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half. We're tied at 14. Picayune with the football, moving from the right to the left. Panthers on defense. It's going to be 2nd down, and we're going to call it 7 from the 34-yard line. Backs are in the eye. Looked like there was some movement up front. No flags. There's Dito again across the 40, powering close to a first down.
Again, looked like we had good pursuit there. They had a chance to stop him to the line of scrimmage, and he just does a great job of churning those big legs and getting up. Well, he didn't get a first down. I thought he had the first down, but about a yard short.
There's another big play. Let's see if this Panther sideline comes and rises together as one. They are. They're excited here. They know this is a big play. They know if they can get a stop and they can get that ball back, they can take over control of this football game and put a lot of pressure on Picayune's defense. So it's 3rd down and 1 from the 41. Quarterback keeper this time.
Hickman did a good job that
he
time.
Sure did. He did. He looked like he picked up about 2 yards. It is enough for a first down at the 43.
Hickman's tried several times the hard count, and a couple of times we have jumped, but we've gotten back and not gotten the call. So we've got to be careful for that the rest of the night.
The other thing you have to start to worry about is with a drive like this where, you three plays, 11, 12 yards, move the chains. You don't want your defense to get worn out.
I know. That's my concern at this point.
Clock running. We're getting close to the 7-minute mark remaining in the second quarter, 14-14. There's Dito again. He'll be thrown down, but not before a gain of about 4 yards.
I couldn't get the number for Petal who had him, but he actually had him in the backfield. He just kind of drug him about 3 yards.
That looked like Reeves in on the or assisted on the tackle too. So it's going to bring up 2nd down. We're going to call it about 6 yards.
So, yeah, Jalen Bonet, that's who. Yeah, Jalen Bonet had him that time.
Okay.
Right at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to get 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, he just keeps those legs churning, and he's just extremely powerful. So on 2nd down and 6, there's a give up the middle. It's going to be Dito again across midfield, but he'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
I tell you, at this point in time, Corey, a bad snap or something is about the only thing that's going to stop this offense. Because I tell you what, every time they snap the ball, our linemen are being pushed back and they're getting good yardage.
The tackle was made by the big nose guard for Petal, number 60, Jerome Guy, 5'9", 250. So good job, stout young man up front. Petal, and it looks like it's going to be close. It was a 3rd down quarterback keeper again, and according to the side judge on this side,
he's a little short.
It looks like he may be a little bit short.
But you know they're going to go for this past midfield. This is 4 down.
Absolutely, I think you have to. Depending on the spot, I think you have to if you're a little bit short. It's going to be really, really close. The officials are looking at, I believe they're probably going to, no, they are going to call for a measurement here. You see how intense Coach Boyles is on the sideline. He was right out there as far off the sideline as he could come, trying to gauge to see if that is a first down. And, Tommy, you're exactly right. Just under 6 minutes to go. I think you're in 4-down territory here all night. You're on Petal's side of the 50 at the 47. The way you've been moving the football, even if they are a little bit short, which
it's close.
He's got it. Yeah, he's got it. He's got it by about half the length of the football at the 47-yard line. So it's a Maroon Tide first down.
I think Coach Ball's a little disappointed in the spot because the original spot from the judge on this side of the field, he was short.
It looked like he was a good maybe 12, 18 inches
ball.
Short. Yeah.
I think that's what Coach Ball's a little frustrated with right now.
Well, we've got a heat timeout, much needed. Petal's going to have a chance here to regroup. This is a good thing. Of course, August, September, Mississippi or MHSAA rules through September. You have those heat timeouts, much needed on a humid night like tonight.
You know, we really haven't had the first 2 games hasn't been that hot, but normally at this time of the year, you know, it's at what is it, 8 o'clock, 8:30. This time it's still in the upper 80s.
You're not kidding.
It really hadn't been that bad.
88 degrees with 80% humidity.
Yeah.
But you're right, it hasn't been bad. I think that front that came through a little bit earlier may have cooled things down just a little bit. It's actually a rather pleasant night out tonight. We appreciate you joining us tonight on 93.1 for some Petal Panther football. 14-14 our score midway through the second quarter. 1st and 10. Dito on the carry, good job up front. Still picks up 2 yards, but a good job of reading that by the Petal defense and limiting them only to 2 that time.
I can't get the number, but it was on the left side over there.
And that's a good thing. If Coach Boyles was up here now, I imagine he probably would say, I hope you guys have trouble deciphering who's making the tackles because we have to gang tackle this guy to bring him down. It's just one of those things that you have to have a host of defensive players there to make a stop against him.
I believe that was Jaron Guy again that time that got off the bottom of the pile.
Here's the pitch. Again, it's Dito. Down inside the 45 to the 41, and this one's going to bring up 3rd and a short 5.
Jalen Bonet again. Good job of fighting off his man and getting up there and keeping him from cutting back upfield.
This is a good sign for Petal. Sure, Picayune is grinding. They took the ball at their own 20, so they've moved the ball nearly 40 yards, 39 to be exact. But Petal is making them earn it on this drive. It hasn't been long, 12, 15-yard runs. It's been 3, 4, 5, 6 yards at a pop. 3rd down and 4. You can hear your Petal Panther fans chanting for defense. Pitch is going to go to Dito. Up ahead. Second effort. It's going to be close, I believe, Tommy. He's going to have the first down.
He's got a first down. And now, again, it did not look like he was going to get a first down.
He's sneaky quick, and it looked like you said, it almost looked like he tripped a little bit, and he was lunging forward. Next thing you know, he springs, and he gets 4 more yards.
Yeah, they're going to measure it, but
The ball's at about the 37, which is the line to get. He had to get to the 47, the 37. It's going to be close, but it looks from here, Tommy, like he probably does have it. Credit to these Panther fans here on the sideline. They're trying. They're trying to be the 12th man here. In fact,
about the exact length that he got it last time.
Half of that football. So at the 37-yard line, it is a Maroon Tide first down. There's 4 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the second quarter. It's 14-14. Picayune trying to this is their third offensive possession of the ball game, looking for their third score.
Maybe we can reach in there and knock that ball loose. But I tell you, he has tremendous explosion once he gets the ball towards the line of scrimmage.
Surprise, a little bit of movement up
Petal
front.
jump that time, yeah.
Of course, the pitch went to Dito again, in case you were wondering who was going to get the ball.
Boy, you hate to give them 1st and 5 the way they're moving the football.
That's right.
Wow.
It is going to give them 1st and 5. The 5-yard encroachment penalty against Petal will move the ball to the 32-yard line. You're exactly right, Tommy. Well said. You do not want to help this team out. They can move the ball on their own, and you do not want to give them free 5 yards at all.
Another thing, we're under 4 minutes now, so if they keep going at this rate, we won't get the football back if they score.
So clock becoming a factor here late stages of the second quarter. 1st and 5, pitch to Dito. Not much doing this time. He'll pick up 1, maybe 2, to about the 30. Good job up front again by the Panthers.
I'll tell you what, Jaron Guy is having a heck of a ball game up there at the nose guard position. He's been in on just about every tackle.
He's getting some movement up front. He definitely is being able to assert himself, and he has made some tackles. Especially on this drive, he really has started to assert himself. So that's a good sign of things to come.
He's another one I call the stump. What is he, 5'9"?
He's 5'9", 250.
250.
So 2nd down and 4 from the 30-yard line. Pitch, Dito. It's an option pass. He's got his receiver wide open. It is caught and into the end zone for the Picayune touchdown. That's what you talked about. Yeah. You have 11 guys in the box, all 11 within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, and that's what happened.
Terrible pass. That ball hung up there, seemed like for 5 minutes.
That was Samuel Hickman on the touchdown grab. It'll go for a 30-yard touchdown pass, and their first touchdown pass of the year, believe it or not, is by their tailback, Dito.
Yeah, we had that fear all night they were going to try something like that. We had so many defenders at the line of scrimmage.
So Jake Polderman will come on for Picayune Maroon Tide to attempt the point after. Here's the kick. It is a good kick, and through the uprights, and with 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining, Picayune has scored again. They lead Petal 21-14. Petal, with all 3 timeouts remaining and 3 minutes to work, will get the ball back and try and tie this game up again.
I guess, Corey, the good and the bad. The bad is they score. The good is we do have enough time to come back and answer that score.
That's right. With all 3 timeouts and 3:04 remaining on the game clock here in the second quarter, you've got to think that they have enough time.
Well, if you could score here and tie it up, I believe we get the ball for it. We did kick off to them. Yes.
They did. Picayune got the first possession.
So that's a plus. If we can somehow or another, take the time down to nothing and score, and we get the ball first in the second half. That's a big key right now, looking at the way both teams are moving the football.
Right. If you like offense, this one's for you. 5 possessions between these two clubs, 5 touchdowns. I'm anxious to see our halftime stats and see what Dito's racked up already on the ground. But he's everything that was advertised coming in.
No doubt about it. That explosion he has when he gets the ball, it's just like I said a while ago, I've seen a lot of players in high school who you think is going to make the Division I level or the next level. No doubt about him. He's just got all the tools.
You're right. He can do it all on the ground. We'll leave the quarterbacking to somebody else for their team. And they did throw a touchdown pass. Kick is taken at about the 8-yard line up to about the 20-yard line. Was
that Rain?
It was. That was Rain on the reception. He was back there, and he took it at about his own 8 on one hop and got up close to the 20. So a good job by the Picayune special teams to pin Petal back a little bit. They're going to start from their own 20 here, moving from our left to our right. Again, late stages of the second quarter, 21-14, Picayune out in front of Petal. Battle of 2 of the top 6 teams in the state. Petal coming in ranked 6th in the state, and Picayune ranked number 5. So these 2 teams are 2 of the best in the state. There's a pass underneath. And
he's got some running room.
Reeves does have some running room, looking for a block. He actually runs into his own man who threw a block downfield. His play is going to go for 28, move the chains, and he's just a special. This connection is just something special between these 2 guys.
Yeah, number 83, Kai Broom, who did not play a whole lot last week, is seeing a lot of time, playing time this week at wide receiver, was trying to block for him and actually got in the way.
Trying to get his man off the field on the sideline, and Reeves ran into him.
I tell you what, Reeves has got those soft hands, doesn't he?
He sure
Man,
does.
that's what you like in a receiver.
And he catches the ball with his hands. You know, you watch some guys, they really catch the ball with their
That's
body.
right.
He does a great job of really catching the ball with his hands. So the 48-yard line. Pass on the flat. Jackson will have it. He's trying to fight back to the original line of scrimmage, and he'll do that. Pick up maybe a half a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Yeah, still got plenty of time. What, 2:38?
2:35, you're right. And they still have all 3 of their timeouts. They're near midfield, so they only have about 52 more yards to pay dirt.
Well, watch the little draw right here because if you notice they've got their linebackers have backed up just a little bit more here now. They're not quite so many up on the line of scrimmage.
They're about 3-4 yards off the line. And Petal with trip receivers left. Barker under a heavy rush is going to step up. He's going to fire. He had his man open. It looked like he overthrew Jackson. He broke free just for a second. He overthrew him. That's okay. There was 3 defensive players back there for Picayune. It sails incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, I think he actually thought Jackson was going to take a turn towards the left corner there, and he didn't. And so that's where Barkham threw the football. Boy, this is a big play right here.
This is.
You really don't want to go 4th down.
No.
So.
We talked about getting the ball back with some time left on the clock. You don't want to give the ball back with any time on the clock for Picayune either. So it's 3rd down and 9. Ball's at the 48-yard line. 2:07 remaining on the clock. 21-14 Picayune out in front of Petal.
Yeah, they need to call a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to call a timeout. They're going to talk about this. This is a big play. So smart move here by Coach. Coach Boyles, this isn't his first rodeo. He's got it under control.
Boy, this is Corey. This is a big play. You got, I mean, the way they've been moving. We hadn't stopped them, and they haven't stopped us. But they've got a 7-point lead, so you definitely want to try to at least get a first down here and keep the ball going.
That's right. If you can't score, you don't want to leave much time on the clock. And if you go down in the locker room down by 7, it's not the end of the world considering you get the ball first to start the second half. So good point, Tommy. That's probably the topic of discussion here.
I don't know what's in 5A football this year, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't believe anybody's going to beat this team. I believe they may have 2 state titles, another state title wrapped up this year because this is a good football team we're playing.
And as good as they were last year, they bring back 10 players on offense. In fact, the only player that they lost was a tailback, and look who they got to replace him with. This young man named Dito, who I can't imagine is much worse than the tailback they had last year. So this is a team that brings it all back. They know what it takes to win a state championship. So we'll have to see. These are 2 teams on the field right here. They're going to battle for the state championship 5 and 6A, respectively. Barkin to throw. Out in the flat, it's caught. And it is a first down. Great job catching the ball. Great awareness of where Jesse Jackson was. He was a couple yards short, Tommy, of the first down stick turn and picked it up.
Exactly.
And got out of bounds.
That's knowing where you're at on the football field, which is so important for a wide receiver.
So that's a good job. That's a young man there that, like you said, he knew his route. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Picked up the first down and got out of bounds. You got to be happy about that. So from the Picayune 40, Barkin. Here's Rain. Good job. They spread it out, and they're going to give the young man the sprint draw. Inside the 30. He stays in bounds. He'll be down at about the 25. Tommy moved the chains. That's enough for a Petal first down.
Just the little shifty moves outside and broke 2 tackles and was able to get great yardage that time.
That's right. They still have 2 timeouts left, Petal. Of course, Picayune leading 21-14. Clock running. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. First down for the Panthers at the 25-yard line. Barker's going to check back to the line of scrimmage and get the play call. Clock running, but like you said, with plenty of time. Double receiver split out to the left, single right. Barker's going to sprint to his right. Nothing there under a heavy rush. He's just going to eat the football back at the 30. Good job downfield and inside by this Picayune defense.
Well, you hate to lose yardage there, but a smart move by Larson. Don't do anything crazy here and give them the ball back.
Yeah, that was another heady play. You're exactly right. Don't do anything silly. Don't throw it where you don't need to throw it and have the ball intercepted. Just eat the ball. You only lost 5 yards. It's not the end of the world. Line up and do it again. Second down and 15 from the 30. Exactly 1 minute remaining in the first half. Picayune leading by 7. Barkin, fire ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, and he had him open too.
He sure did. He had Jesse Jackson open on a similar play. It was a little bit more of a post play.
Wow, and from looking from this point, Corey, if he gets the ball to him, he has a great chance of scoring because number 2 was the only one. DeAndre Anderson was the only one that would have had a shot at him.
And Tanner Bryan, who also starts at tight end for this Picayune squad, was the one who knocked that ball down. So good job coming off the end there. That play could have gone a long way. So it's 3rd down and 15 from the 30-yard line. Barkern's in shotgun. He's got double receivers this time split out to the right.
They're showing blitz again.
They are showing blitz. They're coming after him. Picked up beautifully by Rain. Down the sideline. Pass is just overthrown. He had him open. He had about a 3 or 4 foot gap there on his defensive back, and it was just overthrown. It's going to bring up 4th down.
And folks, you got to see what Barkham did. And he, under heavy pressure, was able to set himself and make a good throw downfield, just a little bit long for.
And Rain did a good job under heavy pressure like that to give him just that extra split second. Petal's lined up. They're going to go for it. 44 seconds remaining. Clock is stopped. It's 4th down and 15 from the Picayune 30-yard line. Same formation as the last play. Rain to quarterback's left. Firing down the seam. This time it's caught. Beautiful pitch and catch down to the 10-yard line. This will stop the clock to move the chains.
36 seconds.
That's right. Thank you, Tommy. 36 seconds to go.
Can you believe that, Corey?
4th and 15.
I mean, right on the money. He had 3 defenders, and Barkham just fires it right in the middle, and great catch, too.
Beautiful 20-yard pitch and catch on the play down to the 10. 1st and goal for the Panthers. Clock running. Rain on the keep to the left side. He'll pick up
all 3 timeouts, so no, I'm sorry, we only have 2. We did take one. So we're going to take one here.
There you go. He just burned the second. So they'll still have 1 timeout remaining. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line with 24 seconds after this timeout.
Wow, what a football game, Corey. I tell you. This is one that you just really enjoy sitting and watching. Of course, you'd like to be the last one to score and win this football game, but this is one high school game that you really sit down and enjoy watching. Good, both teams moving the ball, no punts. So they're both doing something right.
That's right, and we can't say the old cliche enough. This game is all that was advertised. We knew pretty much what we were going to get coming in. This was one that was circled throughout South State on the calendar. Everybody talked about the defending 5A state champion, Picayune, Maroon Tide, Petal battling to try and get back to the state championship game, and this defending state champions in the south side of things. And we can't say enough about this. Has just lived up. This is just a great football game, great first half of action. And Petal's knocking on the door trying to tie this thing up late stages of the second quarter.
Well, Picayune's been stacking it up inside and bringing the blitz, trying to put some pressure on Barkham. So let's see if they try to do that this time, because Barkham, scored last week, just a keeper up the middle in this situation.
So 2nd down and goal, ball just inside the 10. The post pass into the end zone is caught for
Jesse
a touchdown.
Jackson.
That is Jackson. He's a little bit slow to get up. Let's hope he's okay. He's got a little bit of a limp, but it's a pitch and catch on the slant. 9 yards to the house.
Another beautiful throw by Barkham. Wow.
And he throws the slant. I mean, as well as I can remember seeing anybody throw that slant pass. It's just there all night for him. So Tristan Reynolds on to attempt the point after, try and tie this one up. They scored with 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So 20 seconds remaining, Tommy, in the first half, and we are knotted at 21.
Well, I never say never, but unless they get a big play on the kickoff, I don't think that hopefully we haven't left them enough time to come back and answer this time. And we get the football first in the second half, which could be really a big key.
It could.
In this football game,
It could. Try and flip the switch here and make Picayune have to play catch-up as Petals had to do for most of the first half. So well said. So we're 21-21, 6 offensive possessions, 3 apiece, 3 touchdowns apiece.
Yeah.
It's a pretty even ball game so far.
I'd like to know Barkham's stats throwing the football right now. It's got to be pretty good.
He sure does. It's interesting how differently contrasted these teams are. Petals really priding themselves tonight on a passing first offense, spreading it out. The exact opposite for the Maroon Tide.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Corey, in this type football against this type offense, they're not going to throw it a whole lot. So if you can get a couple of scores ahead, then it's to me that's in your favor. So hopefully we can do that.
Well said. Good kickoff. This one's going to go back through the end zone again. Reynolds has a very strong leg, to say the least. And with only 20 seconds, it's going to be nice to have them have to go 80 yards to score. We may be looking at something special here. This could be the only drive of the first half that doesn't result in a touchdown.
This is true.
So let's see if Petal's going to drop some of their defensive backs back off the line just in case.
Another great crowd, like you said a while ago,
wow.
Corey. A big crowd of Petal Panther fans here in Picayune.
There is this stadium is actually, the way it's constructed, it looks like this sideline's about the same size as the other, and I believe there's more Petal fans here than Picayune fans.
I was beginning to think that too.
There's just a give up the middle. Easy defensive play, only a 3-yard gain on this one as the clock continues to tick down to 10 seconds. And I believe Picayune is just going to be happy to take this 21-21 score into the locker room. Well played on both sides of the football. That's it. That's going to end the first half of action here. It's been all that's been advertised, Tommy. 21-21, Petal scoring with 20 seconds left to tie this one up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to throw it back to our station. 93.1 WGDQ. We thank you for listening to Petal Panther Football. We'll be back with some halftime statistics and much more football action right after these words. Hey, Barbara, about how much time do we have left till we're back? 3 minutes? Okay, great. Thank you so much. High school, the battle between Picayune and Petal has been all that it's been billed up as. It's 21-21 at half. We can't say more about how close of a ball game. This is Corey Tater on the call tonight, along with Tommy Hudson. Tommy will be back along in just a moment. It's our halftime show here on 93.1 WGDQ. We'd like to thank you for listening, Petal Panther fans. Your Panthers are hanging tough tonight, looking good. We have some halftime statistics for you. It's been just an amazing first half for Preston Dito, the tailback, the junior tailback for Picayune. Here's his numbers: 21 carries for 197 yards. He has one touchdown on the ground, but he also has one touchdown passing through the air. So he's been responsible for two of their scores, 21 carries for 197 yards, to build on his 50-carry, 310-yard performance from last week against Biloxi. On the other side, on our side of the things for the Petal Panthers, Tyrus Rain, 13 carries for 35 yards. Larson Barkham, can't say enough about this youngster. 12 of 16, 186 yards through the air. So Larson definitely doing a good job. Picayune having trouble stopping the passing attack of the Petal Panther offense. Here's the scoring breakdown, how it all worked. Picayune got the ball to start the game. On the second play from scrimmage, Desmond Taylor took the ball 78 yards for a Picayune touchdown. Extra point by Polderman was good. 7-0 Picayune. Petal got the ball back, and they answered the bell. Larson Barkham brought his team all the way down the field, and Barkham kept the ball on a 1-yard quarterback sneak into the end zone. Reynolds with the point after tied the game at 7. Preston Dito on the next possession for Picayune capped off a long drive, 6-minute and 51-second drive with a 6-yard touchdown run. Polderman with the point after. So Picayune went up 14-7 there in the late stages of the first quarter. Early in the second quarter, it was Tyrus Rain on a 9-yard touchdown run to tie the game at 14-14. Big play there, a minute and 57-second quick drive for the Petal Panthers. Picayune then got the ball back with the score tied at 14, drove the ball down the field to a 3 minutes and 4-second drive. Dito to Green on a 4th down play. The option quarterback, the halfback pass option. It was a 30-yard touchdown pass to Green. Dito to Green, so he has one touchdown on the ground and one through the air. That put Picayune ahead 21-14, and then the 2-minute and 58-second drive with 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Barkham to Jackson. It was a 10-yard touchdown pass. Jesse Jackson scored and tied the game at 21-21 with the point after. Tommy's back along here, my boy Tommy Hudson. Tommy, what'd you think of that first half?
Well, I'm just now catching my breath. I don't know about you. Oh, my goodness. 21 rushes for 197. He's well on his way to 300 again, isn't he?
He is. He's looking like a 40 to 50 possession or carry again. So you can't say enough about how good a shape this kid has to be in. Again, it's a human night, and I mean it's just sensational. Barker, on the other hand, we were talking about 12 for 16 for 186
12 for
yards.
16, and but the most impressive part about it, for everybody listening on the radio tonight, you can't see, but he has been under some tremendous pressure up the front because they have brought their linebacker several times on an all-out blitz. We were able to pick it up enough that he could get the ball out, but he just stands so strong and tall in that pocket and makes such a good throw. Even when the defenders are on the receivers, he's been able to zip that thing right in there, and get the completion. So hats off to Larson, 12 of 16 for 186 yards. That's unbelievable.
Absolutely. Again, we mentioned early in the broadcast, but I just wanted to stress again, Picayune comes into this game with a mark of 1-0, and they're following up their 5A state championship. Last week they beat Biloxi in a hard-fought game over a good, strong Biloxi team, 42-35. Picayune looking to try and improve. They're already 1-0 on the season. And for us, on the Petal side of things, Petal trying to keep ground here with Meridian, Brandon, Oak Grove, and Hattiesburg. All those teams are 2-0. Petal, of course, coming in at 1-0 after a beautiful, hard-fought victory on the road up in Waynesboro over Wayne County last week, Tommy, 38-14.
Well, I was not able to make the little jamboree that they had there in Petal, but from what I was told from some people that were able to attend, the Brandon quarterback looked very, very good. I don't know his name, the kid's name, but yeah, Brandon's going to be strong. And Hattiesburg, everybody's talking about Hattiesburg. They're 2-0, and really running up some points. So they must be doing something right.
They are, and of course, that's a beautiful thing about this game being on Saturday. We were able to see the Friday night football unfold last night. Oak Grove was in a hard-fought game with Purvis. Purvis had them for the second straight year. It looked like Purvis was going to be able to put them away. Oak Grove scored with around 3 minutes to go and then added a late touchdown, an extra-time touchdown there at the end of the game. Oak Grove was victorious 30-20 in that game. But Hattiesburg welcomed Laurel in the Little Brown Jug game, and it was 38-0 at halftime. Hattiesburg called off the Dogs, and that was the final score, 38-0.
Yeah, and I don't think Laurel's that bad a football team. I mean, Hattiesburg's just, they're playing well right now.
That's right.
And scoring a lot of points, too.
The Golden Tornadoes in Laurel, of course, were a point away last year from winning, or excuse me, they were within a touchdown of winning the state championship at 4A. They were the South State champions. They did lose, I believe, 7 players on offense and I think 6 or 7 on defense. But you're right. I mean, they looked really good in their first game of the season, and they struggled mightily. Hattiesburg's got 2 we'll see them in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Hattiesburg has a lot of speed on the outside. They have a quarterback that transferred in from Alabama. And it's fun times. 6A in the Pine Belt. I mean, you can't say enough about how competitive it is.
I know. You know, I know they've been frustrated over in Hattiesburg because year in and year out they do have some really good athletes over there and just hadn't been able to put a good season together. You know, but at this point it looks like they have. And Oak Grove, I really can't. I don't know about Oak Grove yet.
Very young.
They're young, and I don't know. I don't think they've really put it all together yet. And let me say this. You know, Purvis has got a good football team. The numbers caught up with them, like you said. You know, when you look at the roster, they don't have near as many players. And that same thing happened a couple of years ago. Bassfield went in there, and I mean took them to the wire, but they ran out. They had players going on both sides of the ball, and they just ran out of juice. So I know that came into play. But so really, the Oak Grove, I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't think they've really clicked yet. So. And it's hard to tell when you play 2 teams, you know, of a lower division. So I guess we'll see when they play, you know, start 6A play.
That's, you know, well said on your part. Purvis only dressed out, I think, 45 players for last night's ball game, and Oak Grove dressed out close to 90. So you're right. It sure does. And I'm excited about next week. Let's talk about next week for just a second if we can. I mean, it's going to be Petal's home opener. You know, our place is going to be rocking.
It is.
That beautiful place is going to be rocking. We can't wait, and they welcome a darn good football team in Madison Central.
I'm happy and I'm sad because I cannot make that football game. That's the only game that I'm going to miss this year. But, yes, I'm excited about that game. You know, Madison Central, I don't know about any other Petal fan, but I always, you know, I like to beat Oak Grove, but I like to beat Madison Central. You know, I know they don't like us too much either because we knocked them out of a baseball
That's right.
state championship. And but again, they always have some great athletes. They're well coached.
They are well coached.
So, you're right. That Petal will be rocking.
It's going to be
rocking.
It's going to be a raucous atmosphere. I can't wait to be on the call with that one next week. Should be a good one. We're going to take another break here and throw it back to our station. Allow our sponsors some time to identify themselves. You're listening to Petal Panther football on 93.1 WGDQ. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
week is the trumpet section.
Welcome back to Petal Panther football. It's halftime here at Picayune Memorial Stadium. Our score at halftime is 21-21. We're tied, Tommy.
Yep.
21-21. It's a great first half of action. Both teams had the ball 3 times. Well, of course, Picayune did have a 20-second drive there at the end, but we didn't see any punts in the first half. Yep. And it was a hard-fought first half, and it should be an even better second half. A lot to look forward to. At this time, we're going to go ahead and we're going to thank our radio and internet sponsors for the season. They are A1 Graphics, Bucko's Cleaners, Coca-Cola of Hattiesburg, the Corner Market, ELTM, which is an Enbridge company, Encore Rehabilitation, Fairley Construction, First Southern Bank, Forest County Board of Supervisors, Fox's Pizza, Grand Bank, Hattiesburg Oral Surgery, Hub City Steel, Magnolia State Bank, Marino Eye Care, Paris Jewelers, Petal Harvey Baptist Church, Petal Tire, Southern Bone and Joint Specialist PA, and Southern Bone and Joint Specialists are proud to be the sports medicine physicians for the Petal Panthers. State Farm Insurance of Petal, Ted Cannon, State Farm Agent, Reynolds Dental Clinic, Richardson Heating and Air, and the DeLois Smith All-Star Team of Keller Williams.
Would not be possible without these guys helping us out every year.
We appreciate it. And we appreciate you at home or in the car, wherever you may be listening to Petal Panther football here on 93.1 WGDQ. It's been and we've said it several times, it's living up to the billing. Petal, of course, looking to try and improve to 2-0. This early slate, when the schedule came out, Tommy, we looked at the schedule, and I don't want to say it's top heavy, it's full heavy, however you want to say it. I mean, it's a tough schedule, but I mean, you think of those first 3 ball games at Wayne County, at Picayune, home Madison Central.
Yep.
What a great test early on for new coach Marcus Boyles, but this has just been a beautiful game to watch tonight.
Yep, you're talking about state championships when you talk about those 3 ball clubs, and so, yeah, a lot of tradition there. But you know what? And let me go back a while ago, Corey. We were talking about Oak Grove playing Purvis and Summerall. A lot of people don't know this, and I know a lot do. But Lamar County, that's something they stipulated a couple of years ago. They wanted, I guess, for the crowds and for the money that they make, actually Summerall and Purvis has to play Oak Grove. And so, a lot of people don't understand that because they say, well, they're outmanned, which it didn't look that way the other night, I know. But, of course, against Summerall, they were totally outmanned. But that's where that comes from. Yeah. Now, back to Petal. Was it a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, when we started out with South Panola, people say, what are we doing, But by the end of the year, we were a good football team because of it. So when you play great competition like that, it's going to, win or lose, it's going to make you a better football team.
It's well said, that the old cliche, to be the best, you got to beat the best. I don't think you could say it any better than that. And top to bottom, I think one of the beautiful things about this Petal football team is sure they have a new head coach, new athletic director in Coach Boyles, but a lot of their coordinator, a lot of their offensive coaches and defensive coaches are back.
They are.
And they know these kids, they know them well, and they seem to really be gelling early on here, and they're on the same page.
Hey, Corey, that's a great point that we hadn't talked about. When you talk about sports teams and you talk about, in all levels, coaches come and go. But when you're able to keep your coaching staff together at any level, it's a plus for the kids because, like you said, they know them.
That's right.
They know, they know everything about them, and they know what to expect from them. You're right. That's a good point. So, and that you can see that, losing a great athlete and a lot of good players from last year, you can see the continuity already because of that.
One of the great things I like to point out also, and every time I've watched this Petal team, is to watch how athletic, how how good these wide receivers are at finding spots in zone defense, and I think I know who to attribute that to. Todd Pinkston, who was, sorry, I got to throw it out there, being a diehard Philadelphia Eagle fan. I'm sorry, Tommy, being from Pennsylvania. I was a big Todd Pinkston guy. He loves these kids. They love him. He comes from such a great family, but he really has taught these receivers just small things that a lot of other receivers at other schools, they don't get that type of tutelage. And just, Petal has done such a good job of building this staff with just not only superb coaches but superb fine men to be around these youngsters and really get them going on the right track, both academically and athletically.
Yeah, and if you watch Todd on the field, I mean, he's so energetic out there, and he gets into it, and the kids feed off of that. They feed off each other, And the prime example, Corey, which you touched on it, a pass play here to the near sideline where we needed a first down. He did not have the first down, Jesse Jackson. He knew where he was at. He knew where the first down marker was, and he got it. He made the catch first and then made sure he got it before he went out of bounds. So, and that I attribute a lot of that to Todd. You're right.
And that's something that you don't see a lot. I mean, you'll see, the kids are thinking, okay, I've got to catch the ball. I've got to go ahead. I've got to get out of bounds, which he did. But he knew when he caught the ball exactly where he was. He was a few yards short of the stick. He was able to turn, and he was able to get it. So if you're just tuning in, our score at the half is 21-21. You can hear the sideline come to life as the Petal Panthers take the field. And we're getting ready to start the second half of action. Of course, the Panthers will receive.
Well, I know I said it, and we both said it the first of the game. The way this game is going, whoever has the ball last and scores is going to win this football game. So big key here is to drive the ball down, and I think clock management's going to play a big part in this second half too, Corey.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Just 1 second. We're getting started here.
Well, the past few kickoffs, Picayune has kind of done what they call the sky kick and try to pin us deep around the 10 to 15-yard line. So hopefully we can fill the kickoff and get some good yardage here to start off with.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We had to get some of the statistics back over to our friends here in the box from Picayune on their radio call. They let us borrow some of their statistics, so we appreciate that, and I apologize for that. Thank you, Tommy, for covering there. Always do such a fine job.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here for Petal. This is going to be an interesting second half of football. I'm just curious to see what Coach Boyles has drawn up. Try and slow down number 33. I'm going to call him Mr. Dito. And let's see if they can keep this offense churning. So we're getting ready here for the second half of action. Number 6, Jake Polderman, is on to kick off for Picayune. It's a short kick coming down. It'll be taken at about the 31-yard line. Petal with some running room.
Slade Buckley
doing a fantastic job of fighting. There wasn't a lot there. He broke 3 or 4 tackles. Petal's in business to start the second half. Great field position, Tommy, at the 47.
Oh, man, that's what you want right there. I mean, actually, Slade did a great job of just breaking a couple of tackles there and getting good yardage.
That was a great job, and this is not what this Picayune defense wanted to start with a short field for Petal on offense. And starting at their own 47, this is a good sign possibly of things to come for these Panthers. So Barker's at the helm, double receivers split left and right. Rain just to his left. He's going to fire out in the flat. Pass is dropped. It was in and out of the hands of Jesse Jackson. He had him open on the crossing route.
Yeah, a little bit high on the bait, but he almost came down with the catch. Boy, it's good protection that time again by the offensive line, giving him time to wait till he got open, till Jesse got open.
It looked like Picayune stunted blitz a little bit. A good job, and you said up front, to pick that blitz up and give him some time and let him set his feet and throw a good ball out in the flat. Unfortunately, it was dropped, but it is second down and 10 for the Panthers. Moving from our left to our right, early stages, third quarter, 21-21. We're tied in shotgun.
Blitz again.
Slane kind of on a direct snap is going to roll to his left and nothing doing, Tommy. He's going to lose about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Yeah, that's about the only they've tried that several times tonight, the blitz, and hadn't been able to get to Barkham or even the tailback. But that time they were able to penetrate fast enough they could stop him before he could get around the corner.
They did. That was a good adjustment, good play up front behind this defense. 3rd down and 14. Ball is spotted at the 43-yard line for the Panthers. They need to get down to the 42 of Picayune.
Well, blitz is good when it works. But boy, you can get burned by it too. So hopefully we're going to have to call a timeout.
That's right. The play clock I saw was running down. It was down to about 4. So Petal will go ahead and call a timeout here. They're going to burn a timeout early in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I hate to see that because, like I said before you even kicked off, I said clock management is going to be real important in the second half, along with holding on to the football.
Holding the football, clock management, moving the chains, and using your possession to put points on the board is what's going to probably take. And you said it several times. You just said it recently, and I can't stress it enough. It may come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah. So. You talked about Corey. I think we only had one starter coming back on the offensive line, and again, hats off to these young kids that haven't played a whole lot. That they're doing a tremendous job these first 2 ball games of protecting Larson.
Yeah, and it's welcome to Petal football, 6A. Let's go and put you line up against the likes of Wayne County and then Picayune, and next week Madison Central. So they're getting all they can handle, and they're doing a great job. Proud of these youngsters here at Petal. Barkran's going to change the play at the line of scrimmage. He's got his plays on his wrist pad. So he's looking down and getting the play call from the sideline. Double receiver slotted out to the right. He's going to take a 3-step drop. He's going to fire deep. And it is caught.
Wow.
Oh, they're going to say incomplete. It looked like he came down with it, and Reeves is upset with himself. He went up and caught that ball.
What?
We couldn't see on the near sideline, but they're going to say he came down and didn't have possession of it.
See, I thought he had possession, and they were calling he was out of bounds, but he was actually pushed out of bounds when he caught the ball. So I think it would have been a completion had he held on to the football.
And it looks like is there a flag down? And there is. It was a offensive penalty against Petal that will be declined. It's going to bring up 4th down, and early stages of the 3rd quarter in a 21-21 game, we're looking at our first punt of the night for either team. Picayune
got what they wanted. They got a stop. So what we've got to do is turn the tables here and get a stop with them.
That's right. Let's see if this kicking game, special teams can help out Petal. So far on their kickoffs, they've done a great job of coverage downfield. Let's see what Reynolds can do here as he tries to boot this one back.
Is this Dito? Is it Dito back?
It is Dito. The tailback is standing back inside his own 25, awaiting the punt. It is a good, high, driving kick. Dito's going to let it bounce in front of him, and it's going to take a Panther bounce. Look at this, Tommy. It's going to be down inside the 10, rolling dead to about the 9-yard line.
Just what the doctor ordered there.
That's right. Make them have to go the length of the field. Good job by Reynolds on the punt. Special teams early on in this ball game have been really pretty good for Petal.
Yeah. I'm surprised Dito let that ball go by him because that's a no-no there. You want to go ahead and field that punt if you can and at least get a few yards. But great punt, good roll on it to get them back to, where are they, at the 7-yard line?
Looks like they've spotted the ball back at about the 9.
9, okay.
So here we go from our right to our left. Picayune with the ball, 10:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's 21-21. Dito dancing, and this one's gone to the house, folks.
There's a flag down.
There is a flag down back, and they just threw it at the 20-yard line. He's in a foot race inside the 10. He almost ran out of gas. It is a 91-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But they're telling the sideline to hold on. One of the Petal defensive players is walking back the other way. And look at Coach Boyles is signaling for his defense to come back.
Yeah.
And the head coach of the Picayune Maroon Tide is out on the field trying to argue the call. They're going to call, looks like possibly a holding call or a legal man downfield maybe. Let's see what the call is.
I thought the preliminary was a hold, but I couldn't.
We're just waiting on the signal here. So this penalty is going to negate a 91-yard Dito touchdown run, which would have been the longest touchdown run of the season. It is a holding call. So this will back him up half the distance from the penalty. The penalty was thrown at the 20-yard line, so it'll be a 10-yard back to the 10. So after all that, this is going to be a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 1st down and 9. I apologize.
Yeah, and that would have pushed him right there at the 300 yards rushing too.
You're not kidding. I mean,
man, he's just a super talent.
He really is, and we're early 3rd quarter, and for him to have that kind of yardage already, that's kind of scary. So backs from the offset eye here to give straight ahead on the carry. Gain of about 3 on the play, and that's number 28. This is the first time we've called his number all night. That's Jonathan Baker for Picayune on the carry.
Boy, it's always good to keep him hold him to 3 or 4 yards. They're just so. You just had that. I had that fear all night that Dito was going to break through the middle there. So fortunately, we got the penalty.
You did. So from the 14-yard line, this will be about 2nd down and 4. Line to get for the first down is the 18. Delayed draw coming near side with plenty of running room.
Yeah, he's
down
the
sideline in a foot race. Here he goes, number 28.
He's
Baker.
not going to be caught this
He's
time.
not caught. Great explosiveness. There's no flags down. This one is going to go to the house. This is going to be an 86-yard touchdown run for Jonathan Baker. So his stat line right now, I believe, is 2 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. That's an 86-yard carry to the house. Wow.
Well, we touched on it a while ago. Both teams are crowding the line of scrimmage, and when you do that, if you break a couple of tackles, it's you can take it to the house like he did that time.
And they did a great job of faking that inside handoff and waiting for that draw to open up on the backside. It did. He came around the near end, and there was really no one to beat out there. There was, unfortunately, Petal kind of bid on that fake. So on for the point after is Jake Polderman following the 84-yard touchdown. The kick is up, and it is good. There's 9 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Our score, Picayune 28, your Petal Panthers 21. You're listening to Petal Football on 93.1 WGDQ, Petal Panther Football. So,
Corey, we had the advantage by having the ball first, and didn't take advantage of it. So Picayune gets the ball back. And
that's right.
2 big running plays. Of course, one call back, but that's got to be discouraging to the defense.
That's where I was just going to go, Tom. It's got to be a little bit deflating for your defense to come out looking for a big stop. You give up a 91-yard touchdown run that's negated because of a holding penalty. You back them up 2 plays later, 86 yards around the end.
Corey, where are they getting all these tailbacks here in Picayune? They've got a little factory going or something.
They've got
tailbacks.
They've got something going on down here.
Think Dito, and then all of a sudden this kid Baker takes it around the left side. What, 90, 80?
It was 86 yards.
86 yards.
Yeah, so they're piling up the yards on the ground against this Panther defense. This is a kick coming down at about the 5-yard line. The Panthers will take it. Good block, and there's some room here. Looking for a little bit more up across the 35. Great kickoff return for the Panthers. That's, again, just what the doctor ordered. Up across the 35. Was that Reeves on the return?
That was Reeves, yes.
It was Reeves. He's up to about the 38-yard line. Good return there for the Panthers.
Reeves limps off a little bit. He must have tweaked his ankle a little bit.
He did. He's shifty, to say the least, and there wasn't much there. He had a couple of special teams players for Picayune in his face. He was able to break free, and he had about 15, 20 yards of open field. Did a good job to get out across the 35 for the Petal Panthers. So Barkran's in shotgun, double receiver split to his left and his right. It's going to be a quick pitch and catch out in the flat, and it's going to go for a completion. Gain of Kyle Smith's going to pick up about 4. I'm going to bring up 2nd down, and they're going to give him 3 on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 7, Tommy.
No time to panic. Just a good drive, get it tied back up, and maybe we can get a stop on there when they get the ball back.
That's right. Watching this Picayune defense get ready for this next play, and they've this last play that they just ran, Petal may be able to burn them over up top a little bit. They've got everybody kind of bunched close to the line of scrimmage. We'll see. Here's Barkran. Pass underneath is batted and knocked down by number 14, Nick Marble, the senior defensive back on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, he had him too. Oh, he had him across the middle. That seam route again, Corey.
He did. It looked like he was open, and there was plenty of running room back there too. I think that they saw that. There was, as I mentioned, right before that last play, Picayune's defense was bunched up there. Everybody was within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and if that play was able to develop and that completion was made, that could have gone a long way.
Yes.
So another big play. 3rd down and 7. Petal with the ball moving from our left to our right. Picayune leading 28-21.
By the way, Nick Marble, number 14, is 5'7".
Wow. Pass underneath is incomplete, and a flag is going to come in on the slant route. Pass was thrown just a little bit behind big number 83 for the Panthers, Kai Broom, but a flag is down.
Yeah, he went to make the tackle a little bit too early. He really didn't have to do anything because the ball was not thrown where he could be caught.
You're right. You're exactly right. The ball was actually that was possibly the only really badly thrown ball of the night by Barker, and he got away with it. Pass interference. They're going to call on the Picayune Maroon Tide. It's going to move the ball out across the 50-yard line into Maroon Tide's side of the field. So first down for the Panthers at the 49-yard line.
Big break, Corey. Big break there. I really didn't want to turn the ball back over to Picayune right now.
That was 3rd and 7, so that was a gift. Delayed draw. With some running room. He's got some room. He's going to be inside the 40, still fighting, and knocked out of bounds. Good job there for fighting for some extra yardage along the sideline. This is going to be first down carry. It looks like to about the 37.
Yeah, I see now, Coach Boyles. He didn't tackle him or anything, but he hit him out of bounds, and he didn't get the call that time. Right there in front of Coach Boyles.
Yeah. He had his headset off pretty quickly there, didn't he? So it is a first down, 11-yard carry on the play. Good job on the delayed draw there from the 37-yard line. Petal moving from our left to our right.
Plenty of time. 8:26 still in the third quarter, so we're okay.
Here's the pitch out in the flat.
Oh,
and a broken tackle. Still breaking tackles down inside the 20, pushing the pile on the play for Petal is the senior John Wyndham. What a great job. John goes and plays running back. I think he also helps out sometimes on the defensive side of the ball. But what a great job, great awareness by him.
You know, John's not an extremely talented young man, but he just plays hard. Son, he made a cut up the middle there. Great job by John.
Looks like Petal's going to run with the triple receivers to the left on the bunch set, and here he is once again. Wyndham on the carry straight ahead. He'll pick up maybe 3 yards on first down this time.
I like the calls right here by Coach Boyles, kind of trying to keep he's doing with the quick snaps and trying to get their defense off balance a little bit.
He sure is, trying to spread them out and really get this defense off.
Yeah, they're going to call timeout.
That's right. There you go, Tom. That's exactly what he's done. This Picayune defense was a little bit shell shocked there. Petal was running that no huddle spread out, and they didn't know if it was going to be a pass or throw. So we've got a timeout on the field. Petal with about a 2nd and 6 upcoming. The ball is at the 14-yard line, and the Panthers are knocking on the door trying to tie this one up.
Yeah, I'd like to go ahead and punch this thing in here and get it tied back up. And you know, sooner or later we've got to stop them. I mean, you know, they got, you know, a 3rd down, stop them or something and make them punt the ball because I don't know. The feeling I get right now is they can't be stopped. After they bring in another tailback that can run like that, you know, you think Dito, and then they bring somebody else in, makes a big run for a touchdown. So.
And that's exactly what happened on that last play. They lined up Dito and big number 28, Jonathan Baker, in the backfield, and they faked the dive to Dito, and Petal bit on that fake. You've got to expect that play's coming. They wait a second, and Baker's around the end before you know what hit you. So back to action. 2nd down and 6 from the 14-yard line. Line to get for the first down was the 8. Petal trying to punch this one in. They trail Picayune by 7. It's 28-21 Picayune. 3rd quarter. Keeper Barker's got plenty of room up the middle. There's no one there untouched into the end zone. The sideline erupts. That's a 14-yard quarterback keep touchdown for big number 3, the senior captain, Larson Barkin.
Yeah, like I talked a while ago, you know, he was successful with that twice last week, but you live or die by the blitz, and they brought the blitz to our right side, and Barkham saw it. He faked the give and took it around the left side. Nobody touched him.
Great awareness, a great play call. It worked to perfection into the end zone. Tristan Reynolds on for the all-important point after. It's a high snap, put down beautifully, and the kick is good. Great job by Kyle Smith on that snap and the hold. And just like that, Tommy, there's 7:47 to play in the 3rd quarter, and we're 28-28.
Yeah, this is one of them. Like I said, earlier in the 1st quarter, this is our 2nd quarter. You know, this is the kind of football game you like to watch. You know, a lot of people talk, well, you know, I don't care if I win, you know, 7-6, 8-7. You know, I want to win. Well, I do too, but I like watching a good, exciting football team and go up and down the field.
Well, it's exciting watching these young men come out here and do what they do best. There's a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, and they're really exemplifying that tonight. And, 28-28, anybody's ball game, it's a coin flip. These kids are fighting hard, and I just get that feeling. You said it before opening kickoff. We said it again at halftime. Last possession, possibly. So we're definitely leaning or looking that way. A lot can happen. There's still a lot of time with a quarter and a half left to play. But we're getting that feeling here. Of course, if you're tuning in, it's 28-28. Neither team has had more than a 7-point lead. Petal has not led in this ball game. They have tied the score 4 times. Reynolds' kick is a driving kick. This one's going to go into the end zone again.
You know, Corey, not only is he kicking in the end zone, he's about 8 yards deep in the end zone.
There is no doubt that Mr. Reynolds has a beautiful leg. They've had a good line of kickers here in Petal for a while.
They have.
Going back to Austin Franklin. And,
yes.
And so the Petal Panthers are you were talking about tailbacks being bred here in Picayune. The Petal Panthers, I mean, they've got a lot of talent at every position, but they've got some excellent talent at the kicker position. So backs offset again. Dito cutting back
that
inside.
Time they got him.
There you go. Petal stayed at home that time. There was a give off the right side. They got a little pressure there, and when Dito cut back to the middle, there was nothing there.
Well, he had visions of cutting back to this left side and making another big run, and that time Petal's defense was not going to have it. They locked up on him, which is what you got to do.
That's exactly right.
Hey, is that the first time that we've held him to no gain? I think it is, Corey, the whole night long.
I was just going to say that's the first play of the game that's gone for either negative yardage or 0 yards. So good job. That's one in the win column there. And up the middle,
goodness.
Dito, one man to beat, and he's got him. Of course, Petal doing a good job of playing pursuit from the backside. Wow. But this play is going to go all the way across midfield from the 30-yard line. This play is going to go for 28 yards and a Picayune first down.
Man, once he broke through the middle of the defensive line, man, I was afraid he was going to break another one, but hats off to our defense for catching him there and not letting him score.
Yeah, but you're exactly right. So they spot the ball actually at the Panther 44. Dito continues to rack up yards. We're tied at 28-28. Single receiver slotted out, left side backs are in the eye. Panthers with everybody bunched at the line of scrimmage. Dito again pushing that pile, just keeping those legs moving. Down inside the 40, spotted at the 38, and that's a gain of 6, Tommy.
Wow. Yeah, I was bragging on the first time we held them to no gain, and then bam, right up the middle, it gets 28 yards.
Well, it definitely takes 4 quarters of defense to stop this kid. I mean, you've got to every play. You've got to attack him. I say that it's easy saying that from up here, watching the game. These kids are giving everything they have out there on the field trying to stop him. But that game went for 6 yards. So from the 38-yard line, second down and a short 5, tied at 28-28. Delay. This is a quarterback keep. Excuse me. Dito does have it on the delay draw. He's still cutting down inside the 20. A late flag comes in. Excuse me, that was not Dito on the carry. I apologize. That was Jonathan Baker. Again, the gentleman who scored the 86-yard touchdown run on the last possession. Let's see what the flag is. It looks like it's probably going to be a personal foul at the end of the run.
Wow.
And that's exactly what it is. They called a personal foul tack on against the defense.
Face mask, yeah.
A defensive face mask against Petal. So Picayune moving the ball pretty much at will, unfortunately. I hate to say that against this Petal defense, but they're going to spot the ball at the 8-yard line. Great job again. The fake, it was a quarterback fake. It's tough. Well, let's just face it. It's just tough when you have a guy like Dito back there who ran 50 times last week. Your first instinct is he's going to get the ball. So anybody who's back there is going to be a difference maker. This time the give is to Dito up the middle, and he's inside the 5 to about the 2. Tommy.
Well, I don't know. I didn't check the stats if he fumbled any last week, but that's another key. I mean, it's one thing to be an extremely fine talent like he is, but he's held on to the football too.
Yeah, I saw that. Sorry, I apologize for that. He has not fumbled the ball yet this year, and he's looking for his 6th touchdown already.
Well, that many carries, that's phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He has been taught well how to tuck the ball away and keep it. So second down and goal from the 2. Dito on the handoff, the dive up the middle. No signal yet. It's close.
He's a little short.
He is just a little short, about a half yard. It's going to bring up third down and goal from inside the 1.
Well, again, this is 4-down territory. There's inches of the goal line, so.
Yeah, this is definitely go time for this Picayune offense, as it has been all night. We're ticking down to 4.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Tie game at 28-28. Picayune on the doorstep. Quarterback dive. He's into the end zone. On the keeper goes Ben Hickman. And Picayune scores again against his Petal defense, pending the extra point.
Just tough to stop. Just very tough to stop. You think you got them, you get them, you stop them for no gain on first, and then the 28-yard gain, and then, wow.
And Picayune's done a good job. It was Dito early, and now they've mixed in that other back there, number 28, Jonathan Baker. They've mixed in a little bit of Desmond Taylor. They've mixed in a little bit of the quarterback, Ben Hickman, on some keepers. So they've done a good job of keeping Petal off balance. Jake Polderman on for the point after. It's a good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. So again, with 4:24 remaining in the third quarter, 35-28, Picayune leads Petal.
Well, no turnovers.
None.
And another thing I didn't touch on a while ago is we were talking about Picayune's defense. Actually, their whole football team is very well coached. You can tell that. Both teams are well coached. We know how great a coach Marcus is, but they're very well coached. They don't make a whole lot of mistakes. So they may get burned on defense several times, but you can tell they play together as a team. You can tell they've been to a state championship and why they won one. But gosh, Corey, I just hope I can slow them down just enough to get a lead on them, you know.
Well, it's looking more and more like if they're not going to be able to slow them down, it's going to take a turnover. There's going to have to be something that's going to change the momentum of this ball game. Not that Petal has had a hard time keeping up with their things on offense as well. They've pretty much been able to answer every offensive score with their own offensive score, but it just looks like it's going to take something like a turnover to try and just change some of that momentum.
Not a lot of penalties tonight either.
No, this has been
football game.
It has been a very disciplined ball game on both sides for both teams. Kickoff is low, and it is going to sail out of bounds. That's the second time in this game that's happened for Picayune. So Petal will get good field position to start following the kick out of bounds.
Well, I'm not so sure that the coaches of Picayune are not happy with that, because I don't think they want to see Jamarcus with the football in his hands.
That's right. So Petal back at it from the 35-yard line following the kick out of bounds. First down and 10. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Double receivers split out to the right and to the left. Quarterback is in shotgun.
Blitz again.
Yep, they're coming up the middle. Pass down the seam is underthrown, and it's intercepted by Cardarius Cross. He's across midfield into Petal territory down to the 44-yard line.
Well, Corey, the pressure got to Larson just enough that the pass he didn't have enough zip on the pass, because Jamarcus had a couple of steps on the defender and would have been a touchdown.
We just talked about how big it would be for Petal to be able to get a defensive turnover.
And now, your defense is right back on the field.
And now your defense is right back on the field. So now more than ever would be a time that they're going to need a turnover to try and turn this thing back around. 35-28, Picayune, who just scored to go up by 7, takes over following the interception thrown. Good pickoff by Cardarius Cross, the sophomore. First down for the Maroon Tide at the Panther 44. Play action pass. Looking deep downfield. Hickman has his target open. It is bobbled and caught. What a great adjustment on the play and a good catch. Hickman put the ball out there, and it was caught inside the 10. Moved the chains all the way down to the 6. This play is going to go for 38 yards and a first down.
Not bad coverage. Not really bad coverage there. Just the ball was placed right on the dot where he didn't have to, where the defender really had to make a good play to knock it down.
That was a sophomore on the reception, Dalton Hedgepath as well. So a lot of young talent here for this Picayune Maroon Tide offense, showing off to say they've got a few sophomores. Handoff up the middle into the end zone.
That didn't take long.
No, it did not. It sure didn't. Following the turnover, 2 plays, 44 yards, capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by number 33, Preston Dito, his 7th of the season, his 3rd of the night, and he continues to rack up yards, and now Petal, unfortunately, is down by 2 scores.
Well, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how good the 5A is this year, but I don't think very many people are going to stop this Picayune offense. They're explosive. They've got power. They've got a great tailback, of course. but very well disciplined, and you make a mistake, they make you pay for it.
You're exactly right. Here's Polderman on for the point after. The kick is up, and this kick is good. So we've got 3:51 remaining in the third quarter. Our score is 42-28.
Wow.
Picayune in front of Petal. Just like that. That didn't take long. I mean, literally it's about a minute of game time, and Picayune punches the ball into the end zone twice.
Well, the play action was done so well that, he had to make up, and he made a perfect throw. The throw was perfect.
It was.
And, of course, the catch was a good catch also, but just part of football sometimes, What Petal has to do here is not get their heads down. We're still in the football game. We know we can score quick, so that's what we got to rely on right here, some quick scores.
They just have to continue to fight hard, and you're exactly right. Stay within striking distance and try and just continue to claw and continue to fight. Good things will happen, and as they have in the past. So a good early test here for Petal. Petal trailing by 14. We'll see what they've got. Picayune set to kick off. It's Polderman again. It's a short kick. That Reeves running with the ball.
Oh, goodness.
The big hit still on his feet, though. Running back, coming near side, looking for a block.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man, back inside the 10. Reeves trying to make something happen. Unfortunately, he had forward progress, was down to about the 20-yard line, and now running backwards, he's going to get they've got him marked inside the 10 there, Tommy.
Yeah, where did he feel that ball? About the 25 maybe, or 20?
Yeah, it was right. It was just outside the 20 where he fielded it, and he started forward, kind of stutter step, and went back to his right and started running back towards his own end zone.
Things aren't going too well for the Panthers right now.
So from the 7-yard line, Petal moving from our left to our right, 3:37 remaining, trailing by 2 scores. Give right side rain for a gain of about 2.
And, you can see the fatigue beginning to set in a little bit on the Panther defense on that drive right there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think that they are getting a little bit tired. They've been on the field so much of this game, and it's got to at some point catch up with you. So 2nd down and 8. Trip receivers out to the left. Barker takes a high snap. He just floats it out to the right. The ball is caught across the 15 up to the 16 is tight end Bryant McDuffie on the reception, and he'll be close to the first down. We'll have to wait and see where it's spotted.
Bobble the snap, and again, cool and calm, was able to get the ball where he could grip it well and get the ball off without making a turnover.
So it was 3rd down and short. They said he was short of the first down. Rain's got a block. And plenty of running room across midfield. One man to beat. Good job to knock him out. He gets across midfield. Big carry for Rain, just what the doctor ordered. And Petal moves the chains. A big carry and a first down.
Actually, Corey, I think we caught him a little off guard there with a quick snap and handoff, and they didn't have time to get out there and get him. And he got a great gain there by Rain. I keep wanting to call him Payne because we had Terrence Payne last year.
Sure. That's all right. He's a good young man. I'm sure just as long as he calls his number, he'll be okay with that. And there's a timeout on the field. Picayune's going to call a timeout and try and slow it down for us here. We've got a timeout with 2:35 remaining in the third quarter. Tommy,
I know they're 2 scores up, but they only have 1 timeout. You never know, Corey. I mean, we can score quick here. And you score and get a stop and then score again. I mean, that's our goal right now. Get it tied back up and then see what the defense can do.
You're right. You're exactly right. So teams huddling here, getting some water as we get ready to come back from the timeout. Ball spotted for action just across midfield. They're going to spot it at the 49-yard line of the Maroon Tide. So Picayune needs 49 yards to try and get back within 1 strike. If you're just joining us, this game has been back and forth, punch after punch. Picayune with the first turnover of the game. They had an interception on a Petal pass by Barker, and were able to punch it in on 2 plays. 44-yard drive capped off by a 6-yard Dito touchdown, and it's 42-28. Picayune with a lead of 2 scores over your Petal Panthers.
Again, they've got that defense stacked up in there. So, I mean, as long as they do that, Corey, I guarantee you we're going to do the play action and keep doing that seam route.
And you can move some guys short underneath. It's going to keep that defense honest, and maybe you can take a shot downfield. Here they are coming. It's a high snap again, and nothing much Barker can do with that one. He just has to eat it. It's going to be a sack, a loss of about 3 on the play.
Hats off to him, man. I tell you, a lot of quarterbacks can't handle those snaps like that and end up turning the ball over. So
you're right. It's hard when that snap comes. You're right.
Yeah.
Not only do you have to reach up for it, but you have 4 defensive players barreling down on you. So a good job. It's a loss of 3 on the play, back to the 48-yard line.
2-touchdown lead, Corey. I mean, most defensive coordinators are going to dial up the blitz the rest of the game.
You're right. You're exactly right. So 2nd down and 13, ball at the 48-yard line. Barkham's in shotgun, double receiver slotted to the right. Under a heavy rush again, he steps to the left. He fires deep down the seam. It's over the head of Reeves, incomplete, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, not sure what happened that time, if he thought Reeves was going to head to the sideline, and he cut up the middle, so maybe a little miscommunication there. But still a great job by the offensive line, Corey, to giving him time.
Yeah, they did a good job of picking up the blitz that time. There's 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, 42-28, Picayune with the lead. 3rd down and 13 for Petal. This is a huge, huge play. Again, we've said that several times, but they've got to pick up this yardage and try and get that 1st down. Barker under a heavy rush, trying to buy time out to his right under a heavy rush, and he's going to be dropped back at the 40, or just inside the 40-yard line. Good job of pursuit, good coverage downfield. It's a sack, and it's going to bring up 4th and long for the Petal Panthers.
Well, some adjustments have been made at halftime, too. We don't have as many receivers open as we did in the first half. Like I said a while ago, well-coached football team.
You're right. That's a point well made. They were running a little bit more openly, especially over the middle of the field on those slant routes earlier for Petal, and that the play's just not there at this time.
Well, they're coming up to the line of scrimmage and stunning like they're going to blitz and then dropping back into coverage, and that's kind of throwing us off a little bit.
You're right. So on 4th down and 20, from just inside their own 40, the Panthers are set to kick. Reynolds gets away a good high kick, and it's going to take another Petal Panther bounce. Look at this. Great job for him. That end-over-end kick is going to be taken down about the 11-yard line. Great punt.
As good as Dito is, I didn't see the flag.
Yeah, we've got 2 flags down on the field right at midfield. The officials are talking about it. We'll have to see what the call is. I'm wondering if it may be
I hope they don't negate that fine punt there, boy.
No, you don't want to do that. And they are going to.
They're coming back.
They're coming back. So it looks like it's going to be a penalty against the Petal Panthers, and they're going to replay 4th down. Of course, the coach for Picayune elects for them to take the penalty.
Illegal man downfield. Is that what it was?
I didn't see him touch his hat, so I'm not sure.
No, there it is.
Well, it is a 10-yard penalty against the Petal Panthers, so they're going to move it back. It'll be 4th down again.
That's a block in the back.
Block in the back.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't mark off anything on the punt here. I guess they're just going to make them repunt it. They punted from the 39 the last time.
They did.
So maybe they can get the snap away quick, and the officials won't notice that. Ooh. So it's a high snap. Good job by Reynolds. This is a much shorter kick this time. Coming down, it will take another Petal Panther bounce inside the 30. Inside the 25, it'll come to rest at the 23, and that's where the whistle will blow. With 42 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, Picayune with the ball again. They lead Petal 42-28.
Yeah. Like I said a while ago, Corey, there's been some adjustments made on defense for Picayune because we're just not getting the receivers open like we did in the first half.
That's right. They have Picayune's already matched their point total from the first half. They've had 21 points scored in this 3rd quarter, limiting Petal to just 7. So we were 21-21 at halftime, and it's 42-28 now. First play for Picayune. Dito.
He's going again.
He is good. And that's
wow.
Look, it's just a thing of beauty watching him run. This is another tailback that they've brought in. That's Desmond Taylor. We apologize if we're having any technical difficulties. I apologize for that, but we seem to have got it worked out here. Desmond Taylor, first play following the punt, was 77 yards to the house, basically untouched, Tommy, and we hate to see that happen there for this Petal defense, and they've got to be not only a little bit unhappy with that. I know that they're gassed.
Yeah, a lot of heads down right now after that big run.
So following the punt, that's their last 4 offensive plays, 3 touchdowns for this Picayune Maroon Tide, so they're really showing their mettle. And like you said, they are just carbon copy of tailbacks over there. Low snap taken by their holder and does a good job to get it down. So waning moments of the third quarter. There's 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's 49-28, Picayune over Petal.
Of course, for those of you that's listening, that like we talked about, we have so many of our defensive players close to the line of scrimmage every snap that, we talked about in the first half that if you don't make that tackle at the line of scrimmage, the chances are of a big play, and they've capitalized on that.
And it really is amazing, and we talk about how explosive these tailbacks are, but, you blink, and they're already 5, 6, 7 yards downfield. And when you, like you said, when you have, 8, 9, 10 guys in the box, there's one guy back there kind of on an island, and when you're trying to do that against these tailbacks that Picayune has, it's just not going to work.
No.
So I guess we could call this a must-score possession for the Petal Panthers. They trail
You sure don't want to give them the ball back right now.
No, they sure don't. They trail by 21 points. Again, late moments, 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's 49-28. Picayune with the big lead now over the Petal Panthers. Set to kick off is Polderman. On that far side from us, it's going to be Reeves trying to come back near side. If he can get a block, he may have something going, and great job in the open field there as he tried to cut back.
Yeah, Kadarius Cross, he wasn't going to have it. It was not, no matter what kind of moves Jamarcus made, he wasn't going to have it.
That's about the fourth or fifth time Cross has done a good job of wrapping up his man and making a good tackle. So Petal will have the ball at their own 20 or 21 they spot it to start this drive.
Let me say this again. This is a well-coached veteran football team that we're playing tonight, and they're showing it right now. You make some mistakes, and they're going to make you pay for it.
And, looking at their division that they're in, 5A, I agree with you. And there is a lot of talent, of course, on that side of 5A. But I don't know if there's any team that's going to be able to hang if Picayune gives it all they have every game. So it's a draw, handoff, Rain on the left side across the 25, pickup of about 5.
They swarm to the football. They may miss a few tackles here and there, but they're always around the football.
And, Tommy, I believe that's going to be the final play of the third quarter as the whistle sounds, the clock, the gun sounds, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. That you're listening to Petal Panther football. Our score at the end of the third quarter, it is 49-28, Picayune over Petal. You're listening to Panther football on 93.1 WGDQ. Tommy, we'll be back with our fourth quarter right after these words from our sponsors. Barber, they're actually coming back to action. Welcome back to the fourth quarter of action here from Picayune Memorial Stadium on the campus of Picayune High School. 49-28, Picayune leading your Petal Panthers as we start the fourth quarter. Barker in first play from scrimmage, pass out in the flat. Looking for Reeves is incomplete.
Yeah. The timing right now is not as good as it was in the first half, so it works on you when a little anxious here because they know we need to score quick. So that has an effect on your offensive team when they get the football.
I think you said it well when you said the good adjustments, a well-coached football team. They've done some great adjustments here in the second half, Picayune especially. Barker on 3rd down and 5 on the keep, nothing doing. He is swarmed under and sacked. In on the sack, Jonathan Baker and some other players for this Picayune defense. Not only does he score touchdowns, but he's sacking our quarterback too.
It almost looked like they knew exactly what we were going to do on that play, and and they blitzed from the right side. So when Larson tried to cut it back to this side, he had no running room.
That's right. And you hate to see these fine kids from Petal dejected on the sideline. They are a little bit dejected, but they need to keep their heads up. And you know, Coach Boyles will make sure that happens.
Yeah, nobody's hurting more than him right now because
No.
he hates to lose. I remember he said that at the press conference. I know most coaches do.
Under a heavy rush, good job to get the kickoff by Tristan Reynolds. It's a short kick. It'll come to rest for Picayune at about the Petal 47-yard line. Early stages of the fourth quarter, already leading 49-28, Tommy. Picayune's going to get the ball back here with a short field.
Just not what you wanted to do.
No, you didn't want to go 3 and out right after, what happened.
Well, when old Mo gets swinging the other way, it's very hard for any team, regardless of who it is, to get it back. So,
and we talked about, they've scored 3 touchdowns on their last 4 offensive plays, so it can change in a hurry and shift in a hurry. So maybe something can happen special here. Petal can get back in this ball game. From the 47, backs offset, delayed draw, handoff. Down to about the 42-yard line goes Dito. Give him 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, if you notice that time, our linebackers backed off probably another 2 or 3 yards from the line of scrimmage because we just can't afford to let them get any more of those big runs up the middle. No,
they can't. You can't. You've got to get some pressure in there. They've got to make a stop here, and more than ever now, we mentioned it earlier, but they really, really could use a touchdown. Of course, if you're joining us now, the score at the half was 21-21. Petal and Picayune were deadlocked. It's been all Picayune in the second half, scoring 4 times. Petal's only scored once into the end zone, so it's 49-28. Second down and 5. Good job in the trip up there. Dito had no running room. That was a gain of maybe a yard.
Chris Knight, yeah.
Chris Knight did a great job there at the end on the outside. Did a great job tripping up the runner. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 from the 40-yard line.
You know, Corey, right now the biggest play of this football game our biggest series was when they stopped Petal on the opening series. It just seemed like everything went downhill from there for the Petal Panthers.
That's right. They followed up with an unfortunate interception and another stop. You're right. And we talked about that, how neither team was able to stop the other team. So the first time that happened, it really did swing the momentum. Pitch, Dito on 3rd and 5.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Is he just fast?
Wow.
He's tackled hard from behind, but not before he's going to pick up 15 more yards and another Picayune first down.
Yeah, Chris Knight saved another touchdown runner. This kid's special. Not only are they well coached and a very good football team, but this kid is special, no doubt.
You can't say enough about how special he is. We've said it throughout the broadcast this evening, but we've got to call it like we see it. When you see a kid of this talent, it's really something to watch. It's been enjoyable watching him. I haven't liked the fact that he's doing it against Petal, but he is a special talent.
Another thing, Corey, if you notice, we talked about clock management. The last several times they've run this clock right down to about 4 or 5 seconds, so they're doing everything right now.
They know what they're doing, and that all comes from the top. They're coached well. So first down give up the middle, breaking a tackle or two, running is Desmond Taylor. He's going to pick up a good 7 yards on first down. Just gashing this Petal Panther defense.
This is a machine tonight.
And if somebody told me at halftime that just a couple minutes into the fourth quarter you'd see a lot of these Panther fans start heading for the exits, I would have been shocked.
Yeah, me too.
So again, it's 49-28. Picayune with the lead. Driving again. They have the ball 2nd down and 3, maybe 4 from about the 16-yard line of the Petal Panthers.
Play clock down to 8, 7. Yeah, he's going to milk this clock as much as he can.
Yeah, they snap it with 3. Pitch on the left side. Number 20 on the carry, that's Doug Cross. We called his name, made some good tackles at the defensive end position tonight. It's a gain of about 3 on the play, Tommy. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, we have substituted a little bit on defense here in the second half because the fatigue's been setting in. So good to see, though, those kids make some big plays.
Yeah, if you look at the defensive front for this Petal Panthers as they get ready for the next snap, they've got their hands on their waist. So you're right. I mean, it's been a long night. They've run so many plays on offense. Picayune has, of course. Last week we talked about 50 carries just in itself. Can't imagine facing a tailback 50 times in one game. Delayed draw up the middle. into the end zone for the touchdown. Number 15, Desmond Taylor on the touchdown run. This run will go for 13 yards into the end zone for the Picayune touchdown, and they extend their lead again.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of players on that sideline right now that are distraught because they never thought this would be the kind of game that would take place tonight, and neither did I, Corey.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, Tom, I'm shocked, especially with how it was back and forth, so much in that first half. Polderman's on for the point after, trying to tack on another one. The kick is up. The kick is good. We have 7 minutes and 32 seconds remaining, Tommy, in the fourth quarter. Our score is 56-28, Picayune over Petal.
I never would have dreamed that this would have happened here tonight, but hey, hats off to Picayune. They've played well all night long. Both made adjustments here in the second half and made some stops. And like we said in the first half, whoever's, we talked about whoever had the ball last was going to win the game. Or turnovers, and we've had a little bit of both. But once they started stopping Petal, things just kind of went down. And like you said, the first possession of the second half, they stopped us. And it just seemed like we hadn't been the same since then.
No, you're exactly right. And from an adjustment standpoint, what a great job for Picayune to get that turnover, to force 2 consecutive 3-and-outs for this Petal offense. And they really did turn the tide with that defense first and that quick strike offense. You wouldn't think a quick strike offense with a team that's only thrown the ball 3 times tonight.
Exactly.
But they really have run kind of at will over this Petal defense.
Well, the few pass plays they've had, they've made them count.
They have. Good kick by Polderman, taken at the 1-yard line. Reeves up ahead, looking for some room. He's got a little bit of room, and he's finally bumped out of bounds across the 35-yard line. They're going to spot him out at Petal's 40.
Yeah. Great job by Reeves that time.
He did do a good job.
It'll be fun watching him for the next 2 years.
It sure will.
He's a very talented athlete also.
Yeah, it'll be fun for the rest of this season specifically to watch that relationship grow between Barker and Reeves, and it is going to be exciting to watch him grow here for the next 2 years. 7 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Again, Petal trailing, unfortunately, in this one by a score of 56-28. Trip receiver split out to the left. Barker's in shotgun. Draw play up the middle. Good job of running. Breaking free, it is. Down inside the 30, still on his feet, pulled down with a horse collar tackle.
Yeah, there we go. There's
from behind, and right on cue there, they threw the flag when I said that. That was a violent-looking tackle, Tommy.
It was. That's why they have that penalty, because you could get hurt real quick with a horse collar tackle.
Oh, yeah, you can not only destroy your ankles, but your knees,
yes.
man. So I'm glad that, they throw that flag to protect these kids. Of course, it is after the fact, and he bounced right up, so that's a good sign. He's okay out there in the huddle.
There's no quit in this Petal team, and never will be. I've never seen a Petal team in the last several years, a long time, never seen a Petal team quit. So you won't see that tonight, Corey.
And you can attribute that to the grit of these youngsters, but it also, again, that's coaching. They were in good hands before with Coach Buckley. They're in great hands now with Coach Boyles, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to the final gun. So with the penalty yardage tacked on for the personal foul, put the ball at the 8-yard line. It was half the distance to the goal line. Draw play again, same play that they just ran the last time for Wyndham, and not much doing inside.
Great penetration that time out of the linebackers. They were in the backfield as soon as he got the give from Barkham. So,
and let's give credit again where credit's due. I mean, this Picayune bunch is a proud unit. They're defending 5A state champions. They ran through the playoffs in an easy fashion as we have a heat timeout on the field, timeout called by the Maroon Tide, and I think that's their last timeout.
Yeah, it is.
But let's give credit, Tommy, where credit's due. They've done a phenomenal job of building this program, and they look like they're right back in position again to repeat. Barring, of course, it's a long season, but they have the tools in place to do that.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's anybody in 5A that can stop them on the run, because, the good thing about when you can run the football, a lot of people, I like the high-scoring games, but
sure.
If you can run the football and ball control, I mean, if the other team doesn't have it, they can't score. So even if you score 3 times, if you take up so much time.
you
could win 21, 28-6, 21,
That's right.
and I just like to win. I do, but I do like to score a lot of points. But I don't like to see 56 put up on my team.
Well, I remember my first year of freshman football, our head coach put on the board, when we run the ball and we control the ball, we dictate the ball. We dictate the game. And that's just to exemplify, just what you said. I couldn't echo that or agree with you more. You control that offense. It's your game. So Barker in shotgun. He's going to keep it up the middle, and he's going to dance forward. Tripped up at the last second. He's going to be just shy of the end zone. They're going to spot the ball down at about the 1 foot line.
I don't see how he got away there. I thought actually they had him bottled up in the backfield, but he got away somehow and got down to the 1 yard line.
So they're going to put the ball inside the 1. It'll be 3rd down and short. And don't think for a minute these kids don't want to not allow this touchdown. That sideline's proud. They're asking for their crowd to be loud on the far side. And there's a flag down with that bunch set. We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
Yes, the defense was in the neutral zone.
There you go. Neutral zone infraction, offsides lined up for Picayune. It'll move the ball half the distance to the goal line. That's, if you're going to have that penalty happen, that's, I guess, when you want to have it happen. It's a net of about 11 inches, I think, Tommy, on that
That's right. Well, 5:55 here. If we score, here goes the onside kick.
That's right. You can see what's coming if they can punch it in. Is this going to be a quarterback keeper? No. They're going to hand it off. Wyndham diving, trying to get in the end zone, and he is in the end zone. He breaks the plane of the goal, and it is a Petal Panther touchdown with 5:43 to play in the fourth quarter. I bet Coach Boyles is on there looking for his hands team, as they call it, to get ready for this onside kick. Or presumed onside kick.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, I say we will. I'm not sure, but anything can happen in football. So
That's right.
you go for it.
Well, Reynolds is on to attempt the point after touchdown. There is a flag down before the snap. We'll have to wait on the call here. It's going to be offsides again, neutral zone infraction on the defense. Wonder why Petal's not considering maybe going for 2 here, but I guess you're not doing to chase points.
3 to 8's 24 plus 28. Yeah.
So half the distance to the goal. They're going to try it again here. It'll be Reynolds. Good snap, good hold, beautiful kick. And it is true. So with 5:43 remaining in the fourth quarter, our score is Picayune 56 and Petal 35. 91 combined points thus far. And we still have half a quarter to go, Tommy.
Yeah.
If you like offense, we've.
This is your kind of game.
We're glad you dialed in. That's right. We wish maybe it was the score could shift the other way, but like you said, they don't have any quit, and there's a lot of time left on that clock.
Well,
get to listen to that Petal band here. Can't say enough about these young men and women, how good they are.
Yeah, Petal's band always, puts on a spectacular halftime show, and I'm sure we'll have lots of them this year too to come.
It's great.
The Petal School District, we talk about it all the time. From the top to the bottom, there's a lot of dedication, and a lot of care for these kids, and it shows from top to bottom. And
well, I'd like to thank them, Tommy. I mean, just coming on, and I'm really excited about this season, and I feel like they've really welcomed me with open arms from the top to the bottom. Everybody is just great at Petal. I've been excited. So good kick inside the 5-yard line, coming near side, looking for some running room. On the play goes number 20, Doug Cross. His return will get out to about the 20-yard line. So Picayune, with the lead of 21 points and half a quarter to work with, has the ball at their own 20.
Something I touched on earlier, Picayune, as many times as they've carried the football, these first 2 ball games, no fumbles. That's amazing to me because that's their offense. They run the ball a lot.
That's right.
So ball control.
That's a good point. Looks like we're going to have a timeout.
Yeah, this is the heat time.
This is going to be our heat timeout. So Picayune has no timeouts remaining on the clock. Petal has 2 remaining.
Yeah.
And they still have some time to work with, of course. Easier said than done. They haven't been able to do it yet. Let's hope they can get a stop here. They're going to need one because they need the ball back. So Tommy, we've talked about it. We've touched on it throughout the program tonight, throughout the broadcast. I've seen a lot of high school football over the last several years in the Pine Belt and in South Mississippi. I've seen all the 6A schools, working when I did the Comcast Game of the Week. I don't remember seeing a more dynamic tailback than this Preston Dito that I can remember in recent memory.
I don't either. Like I said, he's got the big thick leg, so he churns them. He's hard to bring down, but he is so explosive towards the line of scrimmage. That's the big key right there.
I imagine, and of course, just to reiterate, he is only a junior, but I imagine he's going to have everybody and anybody looking at him next year. Backs are in the eye, double receiver slotted out to the right, a little different formation set, and it is Dito again, right on cue. Not much doing this time. Good job up front by Petal, gain of only 1. That's what they need. We see big number 60 for Petal, their nose tackle guy coming off the field. I imagine he's been out there. He has got to be absolutely exhausted tonight.
Yeah. And he's played a well of a ball game. He really has. He's been in a lot of action tonight. Several tackles and several where he tripped him up to keep him from getting big yardage.
I know the community is excited about this program. Petal loves their football, as they should. They've got a class organization from the top down, class athletes, and they're going to be right in the thick of this all the way through the season. You can bet that. There's a give up the middle. A gain of about 4 on the play. Yeah, it's Taylor on the carry across the 25 to the 26. So we're looking at 3rd and 4, and this is a must stop with under 4.5 to play. Petal's going to use their second timeout here. Try and talk about this because of the importance of this play. If they can stop them and get the ball back, down by 3 scores, there is still time left on the clock if they can get a stop.
Yeah, you never know. Well, if you make them punt, have they punted tonight?
I have not seen Picayune punt the football yet.
Petal's been good the last couple of years about blocking punts. So
the only time Picayune has not reached the end zone on one of their offensive possessions was when they got the ball, the half, and they got the ball with 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So that just speaks volume of how good this offense is, how controlled this offense is, and how good of a job they do moving that football and getting the chains moved and keep the clock running. Good job. 3rd down and 4 upcoming. Petal with a must stop. Let's see if they can hold him here and get that stop and get the punting unit out there. There's no Dito in the backfield on this player unless he's split out as a tight end on the left side of the far side of the line. I can't see. It's going to be delayed draw coming near side, and they've snuffed it out. Yeah. Petal does a good job. It was Jonathan Baker. That was the player slotted in the tight end position. And
Trevor Williams out there, wasn't going to have part of that.
No, Trevor Williams said, you're done right here. Let's get this. Let's get our offense back on the field. And Picayune doing something that they haven't perfected yet, or at least not tonight.
4:06 to go in the game. First punt.
And it's going to be their quarterback, Ben Hickman, who does all the punting for this team, and they're kicking as well. So, they're punting rather. So he's back. He'll be back inside his own 15. Who's that back deep there, Tommy, for Petal at the 40?
That's Trevor. Trevor Williams. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no problem. Trevor Williams standing at his own 40. They're again going to let this clock run as far down as they can. They snap it with 1 second left on the play clock. It's a high kick. Williams will let it bounce at the 40. Not quite sure why he did that one. It landed about 5 feet to his left. It'll take a good bounce for Picayune inside the 30. And Petal's going to have 71 yards to go to the end zone.
That surprises me with Trevor. He's such he's a great competitor. I tell you what, fine young man, and plays hard every snap. So
I was a little surprised that he didn't at least call for a fair catch.
Maybe a little exhaustion too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They've been on that field a long time. That defense has.
He also wants to make sure that he didn't have any bobble or anything. No turnovers. You can't afford that at this time. So from the 29-yard line, Barkran. Of course, Petal's got the firepower to get the ball into the end zone quickly. Let's see if they can do just that. Triple receivers out to the right. Handoff inside. Rain bouncing it out. Looking for some running room. Still dancing.
Actually, that's
is that Wyndham?
Yeah, that's Wyndham.
I apologize. That's Wyndham. He's going to come back near side. And, Tommy, unfortunately, this play, a lot of running is going to go for a loss of 3.
Yeah, he went to the right and tried to come back to the left. And back to the right, and they're just swarming.
Our window our window here in the press box. I don't know, maybe I'm full of hot air. It's starting to fog up a little bit up here. You see that?
Yeah.
It's getting a little thick over here, so it's a little hard to see the number. I appreciate you keeping me straight, my friend.
That's the steam coming off of Coach Boyles' head down there. Is what that is.
There you go.
He's not a very happy camper.
No, I'm sure he's not. Handoff up the middle.
Wyndham again.
That was Wyndham again, and he's going to pick up the yards that he lost on the last play. So it'll come up to about a 3rd down and 10. Clock still running, 2.5 to go. And does Petal just look content here to you? Kind of.
Does they do?
I mean, of course they're down by 3 scores late stages, 4th quarter. They've got that offense spread out with trip receivers left, single slotted right, but back-to-back running plays for a net of 0 yards. So. You got to think maybe they are a little bit content. Here's a pass out in the flat. Good job catching the ball by Reeves, dancing across the 30, breaks a tackle up to the 35-yard line. He stays in bounds.
Another thing we've noticed about this discipline team's great open field tackling.
Absolutely, all night long.
Yeah.
I can't recall maybe just 1 or 2 times where they've really missed a tackle that they probably should have made. But that's well said. They're really top to bottom. All the things they do everything right, all the little things right, and that's what you need when you have a championship caliber team. So it looks like Petal has waved the white flag, Tommy.
They have.
It's 4th down and 3. There's 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining, and they've dropped their punter back on 4th and 3. Just kick it away. It'll be Reynolds. It's a good kick. It's going to drive back inside the 25, and it'll come to rest at the 20-yard line. So Picayune will take over from there with 1:16 remaining in the 4th quarter. Again, our score, it's 56-35.
Yeah, one thing about Dito that if there's anything I don't like about him is he's a little hesitant to field these punts. He's had several opportunities tonight. He could have fielded that punt and possibly got some decent yardage because he's talented as he is.
Absolutely.
He shied away. If you notice that, he shied away from fielding any punts. So
that's a good point.
I don't understand that. As good as he is.
I don't know. Maybe he has some issues catching the football.
Yeah, it could be. But you'd think they would, a kid that's carried it as many times as he has and has no fumbles, that's exactly who you want back there fielding the punts.
So Picayune marches their offensive unit out here probably for the last time of the night with 1:16 remaining.
Yeah, a lot of fresh jerseys on this unit here.
I don't see a lot of dirt on those uniforms. Of course, they are maroon, so it's hard to see from up here, but the numbers look pretty clean.
Yeah.
And they're in their bunch set. They're just going to go ahead and do the old victory formation and drop back and take a knee. They'll have to do that one more time, let the clock run out. Tommy, unfortunately, Petal's going to fall to 1-1 on this young season.
Yep.
It was a great test tonight. I think they probably learned a lot. Coach has a lot of things to go over with this team, but let's talk about this effort here for a minute. I mean, they came in, they're playing the defending 5A state champions on the road, back-to-back weeks on the road against great opponents. Coming out of that stretch 1-1 is not the end of the world.
Yeah. No, and we talk about old momentum, and once it got in their favor, they took advantage of it. And like I say, it all started with that stop, the first stop in the second half, which we got exactly what we wanted. We scored, right before half, tied it up, knowing we had the football first time, and Picayune did what they had to do. They said, if we can stop them, we can get them up, and they did. They did exactly. Stand up. Hey, Barbara. I just want to
thank you, Barbara.
For tonight.
Barbara, could we do 2? You want to do 2 minutes? Will they do 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It was okay. Excellent. What was our final score?
You know, it's something Lance always did, and I meant to do that tonight. But
I'm
he would
sorry.
have. That's just something he always did.
Welcome back to Picayune Memorial Stadium on the campus of Picayune High School. Our final score, the Petal Panthers unfortunately fall in this one. Our final score was 56-35, Picayune over Petal. Tommy, what do you think about the action we saw this evening?
Well, I knew that Picayune had a good football team. I know that Petal still has a good football team. We just got whooped here in the second half, no doubt about it. A little bit of everything. We like I say, we thought we had Dito stopped, and we did several times. But then they would give it. They had three other tailbacks. That Desmond Taylor, and then who was the other one? 30. I forgot the other. Jonathan Baker, 28.
Baker, sure.
I mean, they have a stellar of very talented running backs, but well-coached team. We knew that coming in. They got well-disciplined. Not very many penalties on either side of either team. But I'll be honest with you, Corey. I'm really shocked at the score. I'm really shocked that they were able to bust that many plays up the middle on our defense. However, we'll as any coach, great coach does, like Coach Boyles, we'll learn by these and we'll be better next week.
The good thing is, if it is a positive to take away, I'm not sure if they're going to face another tailback throughout the rest of the season like we saw tonight in Mr. Dito, number 33. For him to carry the ball, like you said earlier, as many times as he has, 50 times last week, and a bunch this week, to not fumble the football and continue to move. It looks like he had 161 more yards in the second half on top of what he had in the first half, and he had 196. So he ran again this week for over 350 yards.
Yes.
So you're looking at a young man through 2 games that's approaching 700 yards on the ground, and just wow. I don't know if I could say any more than that. That's a season for a lot of these kids.
Yes, it is.
But let's look forward to fast forward to next week briefly. Madison Central, it's going to be Petal's home opener.
Yep.
That place is going to be rocking, and you can bet Coach Boyles is going to have his crew ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a disappointing loss when we went up the last trip we made to Madison Central. So I said then that I was looking forward for them to coming down to our place. But again, this Petal football team is going to still win a lot of football games this year. They're well coached, well disciplined. It was just a bad second half, and the old momentum got to rolling in Picayune's favor. When you've got a veteran ball club and you make a couple of mistakes here and there, that's all it took for them to just kind of take the ball and take control of the second half, which is what they did.
And Tommy, just to wrap up, so Dito runs for nearly 350 yards. Taylor runs for 213 yards. Yeah. So they had to have over 600 yards on the ground tonight.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. You don't see that happen often. Petal's got some things to do up front. We know they can do it. They're well coached. Once again, our final score is 56-35 for Tommy Hudson. Corey Tater, Tommy, have any final words you'd like to add? I enjoyed my first broadcast with you. Thank you very much.
That's what I was going to say. I enjoyed doing the broadcast with you and look forward to several more. I will miss next week, but I won't miss any more after that. So you got to take them through the first home game and get us a victory, get back on track.
I'm going to do what I can from what I could do. I'll see what I could do for you, but I enjoy you. You made it easy for me for my first go-around. Once again, for Tommy Hudson, I'm Corey Tater. Thank you so much for listening to Petal Panther Football. Unfortunately, they fall a little short tonight, but you're listening to Panther Football on 93.1 WGDQ, and we'll see you next week against Madison Central. Good night, everybody.